Today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, or online store for you and your ideas. Squarespace features an elegant interface, beautiful templates, and incredible 24/7 customer support. Start building your website today at squarespace.com. Enter the offer code KINDOFFUNNY at checkout to get 10% off. Squarespace. You should. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy Show. I am one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino. How you feeling today?
I feel great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel real good.
You excited for this show?
I'm nervous for this show.
Because
This is the first show I've done in a long time that I'm actually noticeably shaken by.
So
nervous.
Tim, the pure one over there, and I have been talking all day, and we can't fucking wait, ladies and gentlemen.
This is gonna be good.
This is so worth the dollar because the legendary, the infamous,
Hello, everyone.
the Scarpino you all wanted to see is finally here. Matt Scarpino.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
You are.
I'm very excited to be here, Greg.
Nick Scarpino's big brother.
I am his big and older brother.
The bigger,
yes.
badder version
Well,
of me.
yes.
At one point, I was not this big, and then he was big, and then we switched.
Yeah, we swap bodies. Same
We did
dick
swap.
though.
Same dick
We
size.
do have the same penis.
Same dick.
Yeah. It's more like just the end of it is the same.
No, it's the shaft.
You think the shaft is still the same
pea
I would
comes
say the
out?
shaft has a pretty
There's a lot of
distinct-
similarities.
Yeah, there's
We'll
lots of
get into
similarities.
why we know that later.
I was going to say, strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in for probably what will become the most edited Game Over Greggy show. The most redacted
Yeah,
Game
I'm
Over
looking
Greggy
over
show.
at Kevin's notepad over there. He's got one page left in this fucking
He's
like
going to need a new notepad. by the end of this
1940s
one,
detective
for
notepad that he's got.
You might want to type. There's going to be a lot.
There's going to be a lot to get. I'm going to get right into it. Usually we do the thing. The full first topic, I believe, is bullshitting around. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So we might as well get through the rigmarole. in the
Wait,
beginning.
hold on. Wait. You're not going to go into the...
This is the rigmarole.
Okay.
If you didn't know, ladies
I've been
and gentlemen,
waiting for a long
this
time, that's why.
is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny where you can toss us a few bucks and get each and every episode early along with a bunch of exclusive perks, including an exclusive episode every month. If you have no bucks to toss, no big deal. Head to youtube.com/kindafunny where you can get the show for free day by day, topic by topic until we post the entire show is one big MP3 and video for free the following Friday.
And it's worth $1, especially this month, because this month the exclusive is going to be just those two.
Right.
Talking.
Well, now I'm trying to run through. Yes, that totally makes sense. If you're listening to this and you're a Patreon person on Friday, you're listening to this, it should go up Sunday, their exclusive episode.
Yeah. And if you're not,
Then
just do it anyway.
do it anyway, and then you get access to
the
the 16 exclusive episodes
Yeah.
we ever put up.
But
All
the
for
most
$1.
important one is going to be this one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they come up when we lock them in this room and leave them with the mics and Kevin.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. You're the exclusive. It's just one-on-one.
You guys won't
talking
even
about-
see it?
No,
watch
I'm
it
a
later.
patron. I give $40 to us
Yeah.
every month. I'll see what happens.
You should give more. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. Okay.
So, the topic number 1 is Matt's topic. And topic number 1, Matt's topic, is just we get to talk to Matt and ask him every
I did
question
say
we've ever
that,
wanted.
yes.
We've ever wanted to ask about Nick. But first, you brought us gifts.
I did bring
What is going
gifts,
on and
yes,
what do we do?
absolutely. Well, I thought Colin was going to be here.
Oh, right. Colin's dead, everybody.
So
Sorry.
Colin's, he's somewhere we're not allowed to say.
No, you're allowed to
He's in
say.
jail.
He's in San Diego
He's
as
in
usual.
San Diego. But I thought I wanted to, because you guys are always drinking on the show, so I thought, I always tweet or text Colin about bourbon, so I brought a little thing that we can maybe crack open as a thank you, and also I'm proud of you guys for your first year.
Thank you.
As a big brother.
Thanks, buddy.
Since you have a big brother? You have a little
Little
brother?
brother.
He is the big brother.
You are the big brother, because I want to be your big brother, and
Good.
Kevin, I want to be your big brother, and you're an only child.
Yeah.
So I'll be your big brother, and I am his big brother. So
So you're
I love
everybody's big
this.
brother.
I got you guys' back.
One of the things I don't think you get enough credit for, because we talk about you all the time in the context of
I
brotherly
hear
love
all-
and whatever.
that's right. I hear all
but
the
you
shows.
also were one of the big. You made Kind of Funny Live happen for us.
Super excited.
We
about
didn't
that,
know
yeah.
what we were doing back then. You came out and helped. You're already planning number 2 with us.
Yep.
Right
Fucking
now.
whipping shit into shape.
Yeah.
I am honored to be producing with you on that.
We love you. Thank you for your help.
It's going to be badass.
Okay.
I want it to be badass. I want you guys to be bigger,
Okay.
better, faster,
I
stronger.
appreciate that.
Well, we're not getting faster or stronger, probably.
Yeah, faster's not in the cards.
Yeah.
Neither
hell?
is- let's be
The
honest,
rest of the
neither is
things,
skinnier. None of us are
No,
getting
no. This is-
slim.
All right,
This is
settle
yours.
down,
This is
settle,
never gonna get-
Kevin.
We're all
Help
just
me.
kind of slowly lulling
No,
into
Kevin
fatness.
can't help you. Kevin can't help you. All right, I'm gonna dig into
Yeah,
this.
let's go for it.
Alright,
Let's do
what
it.
we
Let's
got?
do it.
Ah,
So this is something I
yes.
actually
40,
had.
It is
I was-
not for you.
I was at a restaurant with my wife the other night, and we had some. It was like a bourbon and burger place.
Yes.
In Los Angeles, and
If
so
you're at home, it's High West whiskey campfire, which I like because it has a smoky flavor to it.
it's correct.
Had it. I tried it once. I lived a little large one day at Hard Water in San Francisco and had some of it there.
Okay.
It's delicious.
It's pretty good.
Delicious.
You guys open these now.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna open this. Keep opening this.
Well, there's some heft to
Now,
this.
see, Porty thinks
they're
it's
just-
a bark box because he can smell cardboard. He knows that cardboard signifies bark box usually.
So these are just little, just because I didn't know, I assumed, but I wanted more custom glassware in the show. But I
Man,
bought
you're already-
I bought two sets because there's not really just four of you.
fancy.
Never.
Sometimes 5.
Oh, do
I
have
love
to
you,
give
Kevin.
You have to give
you
Kevin
have to give
some
Kevin
too?
one. Yeah, that's how we roll. We're Italian.
See,
Everybody's got a
Porty,
drink.
It's not for you. It's not. It's just a box.
And then if you have other guests, obviously, if you want them all to be the same. So I don't know if you want to drink out of these.
Oh,
or
we're
drink,
drinking
or you're
out of
gonna
these,
drink
yeah.
out of these. All right, we'll
Do we need to
crack 'em open.
wash them first? Is that a thing?
I mean,
You're about
we're
to drink,
already
you're about to
shooting
drink
this
whiskey
episode.
like a man. Don't get up here now and ask me about this. But yeah, we should have washed them. We're probably gonna get
Yeah,
cancer.
we're probably gonna get.
Well, I mean,
brain
there's
cancer.
the boxes are sealed. I mean, it's not like underwear. I wash my underwear.
You wash
before
your
I wear
underwear
it.
before you
Yeah,
wear
I
it?
wash everything before I put it
Really?
on.
Really?
I don't wash
No, because you know
anything.
how they have that. There's like a thing
film,
on the
film.
fabric,
Yeah.
and then it makes me itchy. And every time, my wife's always
got
like,
keys,
"No,
my keys.
you can't.
Kevin's
You don't
got
have to
his
do that."
knife. Kevin, can I
Oh,
see your
got really
Leatherman,
strong
please?
Keys. Like it's really sharp on the end.
All right, Kevin, you failed as usual.
Nope. What are you
Don't throw
doing?
knives,
Why would
Kevin.
you throw the knife?
It's not
with it
open.
He opened it.
It was open.
Oh, was it?
I always joke.
Kill Portillo right now.
Porty's invulnerable to knives. Everybody knows that. All right, God damn it, it needs a knife. I couldn't do it, Tim. Your key didn't fit in this glass. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Nick.
crack one open, dude. You're welcome.
So Matt,
Yes, sir.
brief synopsis of yourself.
Yeah,
How old are you? How long did you live with Nick? Where do you live now? What do you do?
that's kind of more than. That's a lot. Okay, so let me. I'm 40. I turned
Okay.
40 in October.
Yeah.
I'm 5 years older than Nick. 4 years.
Four
and
depends
some
on
change.
the month. Yeah, usually 4.5 years.
Yeah, he was born. I was born in 75. He was born in 80.
Right.
Went to school for theater. Went to school for. I was an actor for a couple of years, and then figured out that I wanted to do kind of design and tech stuff.
Okay.
Went to grad school, MFA in set design, MFA in tech direction. Is it good? Pour it. And then I kind of just worked everywhere. I just kind of got as many side gigs before I became like kind of a cool full-time set designer.
Okay.
And it's hard to
So
talk and drink.
set designing. What is it? Are you doing? You're doing movies. You're doing.
So set
stage
design for
plays?
theater is actually just what's on stage.
Okay.
But then I kind of slowly moved into like TV, art direction, a little bit of that. But then when I started my company, I thought I would, build everything because you could actually make more money doing that.
Ah, yes.
So
Making
and then
money's
recently, in no small part to you guys, I kind of hit my line and I said, well, if the boys are going to quit their job, I'm not quitting my job, but if I was going to quit my job, because I own the company, you can't really quit a job when you own the company.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could close the company down. Let's do this though.
I was gonna say
because
cheers.
this will go into
Cheers.
my toast. To the 5 men.
Oh wait, hold
who-
on. Kevin never got poured.
What? No, get over here. I'll get it for him. 5 men, 6 men. Colin's not here. It's like blasphemy. Sorry, Colin. when
little
you
for
hear
Kevin
this.
because he can't handle it.
It's true. He cannot
So I
hold
just
his
wanted to
liquor.
say congratulations to you guys. I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
Every day, there's not one day that goes by that I do not refer to something you gentlemen are doing
Thank you very
in our
much.
daily life. So everyone I know looks up to you. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
first
you,
year.
brother.
Thank you all.
You gotta look. You gotta look eye. Always look eye. Jesus,
That was strong. That was strong.
Oh yeah. See, it's that smoky.
Did you get the? Do you
And
see how it
can't describe
finishes?
it. You
No,
can't
no, it's
describe
not that.
it, but
It's
there
not
it
that
is.
bad
I like
though.
that.
No, it's good. It's really smooth.
It's got, but then it's
There's a lot
got,
of maple to
but
it.
it has that campfire flavor at the back. You know what I mean?
It's like somebody rubbing your back, Greg.
It is. I like it quite a bit.
But from the front.
Okay,
You know?
I don't know.
And lower.
You feel it
It's
here.
like somebody rubbing your chest and dick.
See, I'm trying to be professional and not say the
Oh
word dick.
God!
And
Shut
this
up.
fucking
Both
guy.
of
No,
you
because
give
I
up.
would not. I would not
Both
do
of you
that.
just give up on that. Yeah, I know you're all trying to act like you're not going to screw it all up and be weird.
I give up
and
on that, like,
crazy.
Do you know how scared Nick is? Like
I'm not scared. I
He's
gave up on
shitting
that a long
himself.
time ago. It's just it's seeing my brother on the podcast now is awesome. It's a little surreal, but it's awesome. But it's also comes with that. It reminds me of when I first started. Of not that you're gonna fall into this pitfall at all, but of like me constantly trying to censor myself because I'm trying to sort of work through needing to sort of what it meant to be an on-camera personality versus a producer, and then eventually that just got too goddamn hard. So I started
And you just let
making
the
a lot of
seduce
dick
take
jokes.
over.
Yeah, you know, you got to be you. You got to do you.
I honestly, looking at it now, I think it's our best shirt. Is that shirt?
Producer,
that we wear.
seducer, 100%.
It's fucking awesome.
Kindoffunny.com/store.
Beautiful.
It still bothers me that it's not /seducer. The slash is in the wrong place, kind of, whatever. But like,
It
it's
makes
fucking
it
sick
makes perfect
though.
sense.
You're right. It is.
It's
in the wrong.
fucking sick.
I always like it when I wear it somewhere and people don't know what it is and they just read like, oh, you're a producer, and they don't read the second part. I'm like, no, it's this thing.
It's like, no, I'm.
gonna
You're like
seduce
also,
you.
if I were a
Seducing you.
producer, I wouldn't wear a shirt that said producer. That would be weird.
Can
the
we make a
director
shirt that
sits in
says
a chair
talent?
that says director.
Yeah, I'll make it one that says talent.
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus.
Also, one that says fucking
talent.
Avatar, remember? We're going to get to your career, Matt. We're going to get to your career, but I want to talk about your personal life.
Oh God.
And I want to know your most embarrassing Nick Scarpino story.
Holy
Whatever
shit.
that
that's where
triggers
this is
for
gonna
you,
go.
whatever
Most
that.
embarrassing
We're
Nick
going
Scar-
to
What
talk
do
to
you-
him about everything. We're talking about everything today.
All right.
But I want to
Don't
start
worry.
right with the good stuff.
You want to go right?
I want to
It's
know.
like-
You want to jump into the
Give them
pool?
what they want.
Right into the deep end.
Spoilers, so we don't tread too much ground. I think Tim's topic is your career. I want to talk about everyone in this room has brothers except me. I want to talk about brothers and stuff like that.
Oh sure.
But I don't. I have to. I want to hear the story of like the first time you just ever, or the big. When I say embarrassing Nick, you just go that time and you shake your head and you're all disgusted by him and his beard.
No.
When did he embarrass you? Was that-
that I don't. Never.
It's usually been quite the opposite.
No, I was going to say I don't think Nick's ever embarrassed me. I think that there. Okay, so I can think of a story where there was a moment where we were working. Okay, wait. I did actually. Shit, I knew this was going to happen
like, where
too.
it's gonna go. This is the worst. This is why it's like sitting in a room,
So-
a dark room, and not knowing where someone.
And
can
it's funny
attack you
because
from,
I was talking to Chris Torno about this too. What story I would tell because he's like they're going to ask you stories, but I wasn't embarrassed. But it was a moment of, and I don't know if we said this, but if I talked about this before, but anyway, so I was doing a job where it was an outside gig, so that was like a live thing, and we were loading in the show at the San Juan Capistrano mission. So like we're inside the walls of the mission and we're setting up the stage and setting up the set. Bleachers, everything. So my team's doing all of that stuff. And at the time, Nick was doing videography. So I was like, hey, dude, you want some extra cash? We can hang out. All my boys love Nick. He's sweet. So he's so he's like, sure, I'm gonna come. And I was like, great. So then I said, so we're all staying in these hotels in San Juan Capistrano. You're gonna be there? And he's like, yeah, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. Right? And he winks at me. And I'm like, great.
He winks at you.
So he's like, everything
I did not wink.
Everything's
There
gonna
was
be
no wink
fucking
that
great.
happens.
This story is 90% accurate. So then he says to me, Kevin, can you stop laughing while I'm talking? Thanks. So he says to me, I will be there. And so I think it was before cell phones.
Yeah.
Right? It has to be before cell phones, maybe? Pagers?
No, this
my
we had-
second
we
year
had
of
cell
grad
phones,
school.
but
This
This
was my
would be like
second
the
year of grad school.
Nokia cell phone era.
So this has been 1999, 2000.
Yeah.
Summer of that era.
Gotcha.
He says to
then I was
me,
still in college. at the
I
time
will
then.
be there, but first I have to go to the Summer Sanitarium concert. And I went, I don't know what that is. And he said, it's Metallica, Megadeth, Kid Rock,
It was
whatever.
Metallica, Tool, System of a Down, Power Man 5000.
Oh yeah.
You meant
And Metallica
Oh,
was obviously
this-
was clearly the headliner in that lineup. And Korn, I believe Korn was on there too.
Korn was on
Freak
the line,
Unleashed.
yeah.
So it was my first. It was probably one of my first and only concerts, and I'd been invited by some of my friends that were like, "Hey, we're gonna get tickets." It was the only time I've ever said yes, and then gone to a huge mega concert because it was the Coliseum at USC, and it was fucking awesome. But I had booked this gig the next day with Matt that I had to be there. I think the call time was
5 a.m.
5 a.m. or something like that.
Oh, no.
And if you've ever gone to any sort of concert ever, they don't usually wrap at 8 o'clock at night to get you home. And plus, this was in LA, and I had to go all the way down to San Juan Capistrano, which is South
God.
Orange County.
Probably
it's
a 2-hour drive.
It's about a 2-hour drive.
And then leaving a concert at an extra 2 hours.
I had an extra 2 hours.
With friends.
So
in the car.
I got in at I think I got to my I think one of my friends dropped me off because he lived close by. He lived in one of the cities neighboring, and I think I must have got in at 4:15. And I walked into the room. This is when Matt was sort of like I don't want to say using us as slave labor, but there was about 6 or 7 people crammed into a room, and it looked a lot like one of those cargo containers that they bring people over with. Of
course.
Where it's like, hey, if you say anything, we'll fucking throw you off. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything. So I try to find a spot on the floor right? And as I finally nestle in next to like two of his unpaid workers, I lay
First of all,
down.
let's stop. They're not unpaid.
They're undocumented.
Not
very different.
we
That's
conversated.
completely
We just don't have
different.
his social security number.
Let's keep moving.
So I lay down like in between these two fucking sweaty dudes, and I'm like, normally I'd be super happy about this, but
Not true at
right
all.
around like 4:15,
you had
I
space on the bed.
So I
You
laid down.
laid on a bed. At
I didn't want to disturb
30
anyone, but I
minutes.
didn't realize it hadn't clicked to me what time it was. So as I'm laying down, the guy next to me is like, "Oh, thanks," and starts getting up to start like to get showering and all that stuff. So I got about maybe 15, 20 minutes of sleep. And you know, I was also not driving that night, so I was, drinking, doing all that sort of fun stuff. So Matt, and this was back when Matt was you were a lot more. Well, you're pretty much of a ball buster now when you run a crew, but you were a fucking asshole back then.
I was an asshole.
And not only that, you were. There's two ways. Like
That's correct. That's correct.
he wanted to make sure.
Mr. Scarpino, I was an asshole. Thank you. Next question.
He wanted to make sure that everyone knew that he had hired me.
I'm gonna stop you
no,
right there.
No, let me get this
I
out because
didn't-
this is important.
I didn't
this is
fucking
important.
say that.
This is important.
Because when I tell this story, they're gonna go, "Oh, that's typical Nick." Yeah, keep going.
No, here's what
This
had
is not the
happened.
punchline.
Was
bitch.
that Matt would
Go ahead,
hire
keep
me.
talking. Keep
He would
fucking
hire
talking.
me, and
I
then
dare you?
he would be super extra mean to me, so that everyone on the crew knew that if he was that mean to his own blood, like what was he gonna do to you if you fucked up? And so for the longest time, he would just like actually when he was pissed at me, he used to have he used to refer to me as just his penis. He'd be like, "You can get up, penis." And I'm like, that's the
I didn't
most
refer to him
degrading
as my penis.
thing. Just penis.
Because at the time I treated my penis better. I'm talking about
But I also, to be
I
fair,
don't
this was
remember
like
saying
this was
penis.
around a time when I was, I must
You
have
were
been
kind of a
20,
dick.
and I was a lazy shit. So
You were
I
fat.
was like, I'm a
You were
film
bigger.
school
You were
student. but
larger.
I was larger.
you were
I was a big boy.
larger. You enjoyed
I
things.
enjoyed
You enjoyed
Carl's
carbs?
Jr. I enjoyed green burrito quite often. So he would kick my ass. So knowing that, we get
Not
to the
physically,
venue
though.
at like 6 o'clock. The fucking sun's not even up. Even God's not watching us, and we're at a freaking mission down in San Juan Capistrano. And Matt has this gigantic 20-foot truck that he's got this set in. And this is when you were first starting off with set design. And you had to work with your budget normally, and your budget would only allow that you would buy this particular type of steel that I think to this day was fucking heavy.
No, because it was year 2, so all the stuff was in a storage unit. Remember, I had to shut the street down.
Oh, that's
without
right. Year 1
permits?
was on the polo.
Yeah, I didn't have any permits, so I just put guys in orange vests from Home Depot and said, just stand over there and look like you're
I
in
love
case we
that.
get
Now,
a regular
okay, so
car,
clarification,
one car.
the vests were from Home Depot. The guys were documented workers.
Okay, so but hold on.
College students.
So this fool, because this is the
They
problem.
could have
'cause-
worked at Home Depot for all I
You
know,
know,
but
okay,
they
so
weren't.
if this is like any show on Showtime or HBO, now we're gonna cut to my story. So I'm at the
What is this,
hotel,
the affair?
livid, because
At 4 in the morning?
Like at 2 o'clock. I'm like, where the fuck is my brother?
Gotcha.
Because he's not letting me know. Now he gives me this bullshit of like, well, I had to go home, this chick, and then I'm driving, and the 5 was closed, and I was
no
like,
shit.
this is bullshit. This is bullshit because you said the 5 was closed for construction. You were late. He shows up. He's kind of drunk. He lays in bed. Half an hour later, alarm goes off, and I go, cool. He's up and ready to go. Great. We move the shit in. It's really hard. It looks like an Indiana Jones film because stuff is like being Sherpa'd down this hill, not the way I normally work.
Yeah.
We start laying this stuff in. It gets around like 1 o'clock.
He underplayed it.
What
It
are you
was
talking
a
about
fucking mission
underplaying?
where you weren't allowed. There was one way in, one way out, and it was like a half-mile run that you had to walk.
Okay,
with
normal
this, and they
people
didn't
call
want
that
you-
work.
They didn't want you screwing around like
Mister, I used to carry a fucking camera.
because it was like gravel.
Shooting people like doing like fucking informational videos and weddings.
So we had to carry these pieces of scenery, like I shit you
It's
not, a
fucking
quarter
ridiculous.
of a mile, maybe 2 miles. I don't even know. It might have been only 40 feet, but it felt
it's
like
40 fucking feet.
It was
I
40
don't know
feet.
shit. You're an idiot.
But they were all like 200. They were like
right
200-pound
now.
pieces of staging that we had to carry. So by, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, no, not even like 30 minutes into it, my hands wouldn't close. I couldn't physically get them to close.
I felt
That
that.
and every time I would falter a little bit,
Dr. Phil, it's like, Nick,
he
what
would
you have
scream
to
at me and
do
be like,
is
"Hey,
not
Buthair,
do
what are you
that.
doing over there?"
You're being a pussy right now.
Yeah. So continue with your story.
Oh, now you're gonna let me talk? Is this how this goes down?
Have you heard this podcast?
I'm from episode 1 when you used to talk really fast and cut everyone off. Yes. And I used
So,
to go like
it's
this.
the
"Wow, I
same.
wish you would just shut the fuck up and let Colin talk.
Yeah, but to be
Because
fair,
one
to
of
be
them
fair-
could be a PhD in history and one of them could not.
Sure, but if you let Colin talk, Colin will
It's
tell
fascinating.
you his opinion and your opinion.
Who gives
and
a
the
shit? He's
opinion you
super
should have,
smart.
and then we're done with the
Whatevs.
topic.
whatever.
Back to you. Come on now.
Okay,
Don't
so here's where I'm at.
Don't go to his level.
Here's what I'm at. Here's what I think. I feel like we're
You're
doing
in my
this.
world
I feel
now.
like we're this.
I'm gonna broker a
No, this is what
between
this is what it
Scarpino
is.
clan.
This is what it is. He's like our what is it the therapist when you get married, and I'm like, well, Greg, here's the problem with him, and then then you're like, what Matt's saying really is that he doesn't like it in the ass. That's what Matt's saying. Okay, so basically, which might not be totally
true
true
at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Nah,
So,
that's
anyways,
true.
so we get to the
mission. You're at the mission.
The mission. We're loading the shit in.
You'll take what I got to
The
give you.
stuff is in, and then it's break time. So the Nick disappears, and he's in like Father Junipero Cerro's like wine
Real thing.
vat.
Not being, you know,
like it's like
not
you
being
go
silly.
down into this thing and where they used to keep the grapes, and he like lays down. And one of my lead guys, this guy named Brian, said, "Hey, we can't find your brother." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he found him, and he goes down there. He's like, "Dude, we're back from break." And what Brian told me doesn't really make that much sense, but he kind of said something like Nick kind of like sloughed it off. He's like, "No, it's fine. My brother's like in charge," or whatever you might have said in your like copious craziness. So Brian comes over to me and he did say, yes, your brother just said this. And I was like, and I was dealing with some shit and I just went fucking ballistic.
I was gonna say, you're not
and
gonna
I
take
stood
that
on the
well.
edge of the fucking thing and I was like, get the fuck. And I just started screaming in the walls of a mission.
Yeah.
With like, you know, the garden angel old ladies planting. Like we're already crying because we killed their garden to put a stage on top of it and all this shit. And like priests, you know, like monks, like, oh God. And I'm screaming, goddamn fuck shit, piss, like whatever my,
Whatever decided to come out.
I was going to
Beautiful
say,
mouth
yeah.
was,
I mean, I was angry, but
there was some
it wasn't
expletives
because you were
thrown.
my brother. I would have done that with anyone. But anyway, so he gets up and he's pissed and he starts moving. And so that was like morning, afternoon. We go to lunch. He comes back and I knew this would happen because a lot of people get reared after lunch because you eat and then you're like kind of tired.
yeah.
Right. And you don't want to do anything. It's sunny. It's like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So we're all talking about the next
There's no
move.
shade whatsoever in this fucking place. Whoever built this mission.
And
fucked
Brian
up.
again goes, where
They
the
fucked
fuck
up.
is Nick? And we're like, I don't know. And we all kind of turn and he's literally by this tree. Like doing a fucking kata on this he's all fucking legs, spinning kicks. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And Brian's like, is he okay? And I was like, go over there and see if he's having a fucking heart attack. Like, and he did like this fucking roundhouse and hit a tree limb. And I was like, all right, well, when we get to dinner, I guess let Nick sleep. And then that's what happened. We went to dinner. He's like, I can't go. And he slept for like 15 hours and then worked the next day. That was not embarrassing, but it was a like, oh,
No, that's pretty embarrassing.
it's not embarrassing. Well, it wasn't embarrassing for me. I was just kind of pissed that it was that I told you, do not go to the concert if you want to work this gig. And you did, and you fucked everything up
It
for
was
the
like
day.
first I already paid the $100 ticket, so, and you were only paying me about $1 to be there per hour, so that would have been out
That's not true at all.
$90.
That's my favorite story though, because like literally, and it was like you were backlit from the sun. It was like a whole movie moment.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
brilliant.
I don't know what I was doing. I think I was at
You were
that
finding your
point
cheats.
But
delirious.
so
No,
you're
he's
not
fucking
going to
di-
contest that.
Oh no, that happened.
No, he definitely did. It was
That
fucking
happened.
brilliant.
Oh my god.
I don't recall ever because I'm not one to turn on nepotism. I don't ever recall making a comment like my brother's the boss.
I didn't think that either, but
I don't
Brian
think-
said
I-
something that
I
you were
don't
like,
recall
you
doing
weren't
that.
getting up. And I was like, I'll fucking get him up right now.
Yeah. So Brian can go fuck himself. And
Well,
we all
he
know
turned
that
it-
Brian's a drug addict.
He
so,
turned into an Irvine PD and then he quit. And now he's doing something else. I just got him on
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
probably
Private eye.
'cause of the drugs.
Private eye.
He was good. He worked at Disney. He was Prince Charming.
Oh my. What's that mean? Like
he was a face character.
I'm joking about the drugs.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
God damn it, man.
Matt knows
Dude,
a lot of people.
I'm doing the wrong thing. Do
No,
you
you're
know
not
what
doing
my
the
new
wrong-
goal in life is, Matt? I want to do the Jungle Cruise. I want
I
to be
heard
the
about
guy
this.
giving. Oh my god, that's amazing.
They make like $14 an hour, but it's
I
up to you,
don't
dude.
care,
Whatever you
dude.
want.
That's amazing.
What if we just did this? What if I built a jungle cruise in our studio in Orange County, and you just could stand there and talk about
That's all
hippos
I
and
need.
shit?
Be
That's
amazing
all
with
that I need.
if every time you guys went to show the studio to a new client, you were like, "You want to take the tour?" And Tim just boats up.
He's got his little safari hat on.
Jungle Cruise?
and it's just like complete with shitty puns as well.
That's
you
so
know?
good, yeah.
good,
And then
so
we
good.
could just have like water shooting at you, and
Yes.
that's so good.
An animatronic elephant.
So
That's
when I
not
asked
what
you
elephant
for the
talks.
definitive Matt story, what do you have?
He's got a million over.
But I said definitive.
Oh, that's true.
I got a lot of Matt stories, mostly because Matt, obviously being the bigger older brother, was always the one getting into shit,
a lot of trouble.
a lot of trouble.
I never got arrested though.
No,
I came close.
thank God you
A couple
did.
times. Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen you actually
Still have the
physically.
cuffs?
DUIs.
Matt was the
Yeah.
first
Really?
person.
Don't
yeah.
drink and drive, kids. That's stupid.
No, don't. But
You
if
didn't
you
get a
do,
DUI. You never got a DUI.
You got to be a great actor. I never got a DUI, but I got out of like 3 of them.
Okay, just don't for safety reasons. Don't get a DUI.
Well, the car
Don't
accident I
drive.
got into got me out because I was too broken to.
You're too
and
bloody to
it
be
was a young
breathalyzed.
it was a young cop, and he felt bad.
So Matt, we grew up in a place called Riverside, which is not the cultural mecca of the United States by any stretch of the imagination. And Matt particularly went to his undergrad in San Bernardino, which
At
was
the time was the murder capital of the United
probably
States.
still is for all
You
we
clean
know.
that up.
I did. I put on a costume and I went out at night.
He did, except he served food in that costume. That's a true story.
Oh, I forgot I worked at that restaurant.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
What
So-
restaurant?
I worked at a Bobby McGee's. It was where the
It's a
the
theme
waiters
restaurant.
were costumed, and my character's name was Great Scott. And I wore like this stupid it was like a tuxedo shirt, a kilt, and I would walk up to the table and say, "Oh, ladies, how you doing? Are you doing okay? All right, well, so we have a dinner salad and steak Diana's are." And I would just go into this whole thing with my little brogue, and people would be like, "Hey, Great Scott, how you doing?" And I go, "Oh, I'm doing great." And that was all 5 hours a night. That's
Did you
all I
clean
did.
up in
So-
tips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also played guitar, so we had like all these custom songs that we did. So it was weird because I didn't have bagpipe. People were like, "Oh, you want to see your bagpipe?" And I would like, what does this mean?
I don't know what that
Move
means.
your mic.
Oh.
Move your mic.
Oh, when you
The other
move,
way.
move.
Do you want me to do like what?
No, just.
Why don't we have these?
You got to
things,
practice
though?
mic face.
Can we not have those?
No, because then they get in the way of your face. You got to practice mic face where you swing with it,
Yeah.
like it's stuck to your mouth.
Nick.
Greg does a good job of it. No, my
I didn't know we could touch these, and
you
I
do
and I
whatever you
own
want.
these
Fuck you
microphones. I didn't. Okay, I'm just gonna.
What I
hold it
like
then.
most.
Gate up.
How about this?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Your arm's gonna get tired. Then you're gonna have a backache, and you're gonna complain about it later.
Those muscles. Those muscles are getting tight.
Fucking Kevin is running this, so Kevin, thank you, Kevin.
I'm a little uncomfortable with your relationship with Kevin. I have to be honest with you. I don't like it. I don't. As Tim once said to me when I first met Kevin, I said, I have to be honest. I've met Kevin for 5 minutes, and I absolutely like him way more than you. Tim's like, give it some time. Give it some time. You'll hate him eventually. And Tim was right. 100%.
It's just that this Scarpino's super mean to Kevin, and this Scarpino's super nice. It all
I was
balances
super
out.
nice to Kevin when I first met him too.
Here's the
We
thing.
all were.
Honestly, there's so much similarities between these motherfuckers. Like earlier, you were talking. I don't think you understand how much Kevin would just love to just go build things with you.
Yeah.
I know.
Like that's all he wants
You
to do
love
in
his
life.
world.
Do you know he's trying to build a bed frame right now, and it's not going well
You know
because
I
he's
love
got
it.
no motivation.
Maybe it's because he has sex every hour with his
Are
girlfriend.
you having a heart attack?
No,
What are
he's
you
trying to
do?
act like he's upset, but he's trying not to smile
I
too.
feel like he's acting hard.
That was like
I don't know
you just gave
I
me the
don't like
Paul
it.
Walker look from Furious 5
Now, okay.
and Furious 4, 3,
What is he doing?
and 1 and 7.
always doing something.
Say mean things.
He's an asshole.
My favorite part about you serving food with a kilt was that eventually
Did you stop wearing underwear?
You stopped
'Cause
wearing
that's-
underwear.
I did.
And this was so. Let me back up. I don't know if I have one specific story about my brother, but I do remember this. There was a period in our life where a small film called Point Break came out, followed, which was as you know, Greg, a spiritual successor to the movie Roadhouse.
Yes, exactly. Same
So
vein.
very much same vein. I like to fantasize sometimes when I write fanfic online about
Dalton meeting.
about Dalton
Yeah.
becoming Bodhi. But my brother really liked Point Break to the point where,
He's
and
got
this was,
taste.
you're talking like late 90s, where the fashion in late 90s was a polo shirt, a puka shelled necklace, and you probably had either a ponytail or the remnants of a ponytail, which my brother had. Now, he literally, and he would never say this, he probably will admit it now, but modeled his entire junior year in college to look and act like the Bodhisattva, Patrick Swayze from Point Break.
Yeah.
Including the shaggy, he had like shaggy
Well, I was also
hair.
in a show that I needed long hair, so
Yeah.
fuck you.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Sure.
And there was also
Sure.
a guy
Yeah, that show
in my
lasted 4
fraternity that
years.
looked like.
That show lasted 4 years.
I'm just saying, we were all doing it.
As an outsider to this story, and I'm going to pull back the curtain for a second
Sure.
here. When we saw character art for upcoming episodes
Yeah.
of Kind of Funny the Animated Series, they showed me your brother, and I was like, that doesn't look anything like him. And you're like, no, this looks exactly like him. This looks exactly like the Matt I grew up with. Like, all right, you know better than me.
I didn't have that fat face, but I
No,
love that character. By the way,
But
it's pretty sweet.
it's kind of a combination of all the different
Life and
versions
art.
of Matt,
Okay.
right? You were actually very, very skinny in college, which
So
was
for
always
twice
very.
I was, yeah.
It was a double-edged sword for me because inevitably what it meant was you.
I go skinny, and back to fat. Yeah.
yeah, depending on the wife.
I was
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So what was always
I was
amazing
actually
was like
skinny
growing
with
up.
both wives. That's right.
You were. Growing up, I was fat. Matt was skinny.
He was fucking huge.
And Matt was a fucking.
He was so big you call it huge. Nick was huge.
I was a pretty big boy. I was pushing a deuce.
I just loved at Christmas when you would just like open that fucking the antipasta jar and you're like, I'm just so depressed, and you just fucking whack it before I get home. Just fucking pow that shit.
Oh yeah, I had a lot. I used to
eat, and it was fucking magic.
I can put down a fucking plate of antipasta like you would not believe.
Have they seen the picture of you as the drum major?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
on
yeah.
the
Oh,
internet.
yeah.
That's very public.
What about
one of the things I had to
the
do was a
Hulk?
very cleansing thing.
Did you do the Hulk?
I haven't done the Hulk yet.
You showed the Hulk.
Did I show the
Did I
Hulk?
show the Hulk?
It's not on the internet, but we've
Yeah.
we've
I don't
shown-
remember. What's the Hulk?
It's
the
where
picture of
he
him as
told
the
the story
Hulk?
where he fell asleep on a white couch and it was a green couch when he woke up in the
I have
morning.
not seen that photo.
I'll show you.
I have it on my. I have it on
Matt's
my
got it
phone.
on his phone.
Here, my phone.
But so Matt used to. How do I put this delicately?
Just fucking say it, dude. We're here.
You're among best friends. You don't have to. You
All
know,
right.
It's a fucking light in a camera, man. Just say it.
Matt used to score a lot of vagina, if that's a way to put it.
That's a way to put it.
Slang tang.
It's like it almost like the way you were coming, and I was expecting to be bad. And then
Yeah.
you kind of bottomed the plane out, and then you just cut the engines.
I was gonna say slang tang, but I feel like that would have been really
People say
offensive
that
to
at
people.
least.
That's true.
Is that
So-
real? That's real.
Oh yeah, that's
that
real.
Slang tang.
So no, Matt. I mean, obviously, you were a very
Oh my god.
you were very charming, and you're good.
I was
looking,
funny
you're
and
good looking
fat.
guy. You had
It's just-
amazing-
I got
you
in
did.
there for like a night.
And
It's
so
not a
he
big-
used to be in a fraternity. So
I
I
was
always
the
used to get
social
to
chair
party
of
with
my
Matt.
fraternity.
He
Nice.
was.
There you go.
So he'd throw the parties. So I would get to go sometimes to some of the gatherings or some of the parties, and he'd make me clean up afterward. But it's no big deal. 'cause
Not
I
my
got to
fraternity
go.
parties,
No,
though.
not the fraternity parties.
No,
So
the
I wasn't
regular
allowed
parties
to.
we threw at mom's house. Yeah.
Which
she
was
was
always
gone.
awesome because I got to see what it looked like to have sex, but I never actually got to have sex.
Did
like,
you?
I got to,
You never saw me fucking anyway. Oh,
I
in
mean,
the spa.
there's
that one
sometimes
time.
in the spa
Yeah.
where I'll be like, "Are you having sex in the spa right next to me right now?"
Yeah, it was.
And you would like,
What
yes.
spa?
My parents have a spa. It's not. A big, we don't have to
Oh,
dwell
okay.
on
No,
it.
that makes
It's not
no.
a big
I
deal.
wasn't. I don't need to. I thought
It
you
was
were
just.
like
It was just. He's just talking about the one time I had an ex. It's. Yeah.
you had sex in the spot. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
no, but there were like 3 or 4 other people in the spa at the same time.
It's not a very
awesome.
big spot.
Good job.
It's not a very big spot.
So I
and
was
then
like,
afterwards,
somebody's-
all my friends were like, "Yeah, we knew you were doing that." Nick's like, "I had no idea," because he was fucking young. He didn't know.
I didn't know. So I learned a lot just watching the master.
She sat on my
work.
lap. That's what she did.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
no,
can
I mean-
imagine. What else would you?
I would
you're
have
not banging her from behind
yeah,
in the spot.
I would have figured
no
it out if
one-
there was some nasty mish happening right in front
No,
of me.
but the time that we knew that we had the same penis is because one of your ex-girlfriends said, "Let me see them both," in the spa. Everything happened in the spa. Really? Remember that night when you were like when you?
Oh, I do remember that
pissed
night.
you off
I
because
do
she was
remember
like
that night 'cause she was. I think she was topless.
she was topless
Yeah.
and you were like, "My brother's here," and I was like, "I,
joked
have no
about it.
problem with this."
This
and
is what
you,
cool girl, and I don't mention any names. Very cool girl.
I know not to say names.
I just let you know.
Christine.
She's
No,
still
it's not
alive.
Oh, cheers. I'm just,
Yeah.
that was a joke.
I understand.
It's a joke. Sorry.
Yeah, I think there was one time when my
got
brother,
it.
and by the way, this has not stopped yet. Like last night, my brother and my wife hung out, and he gave her a real long hug, long hug.
I was gonna say. I thought your wife said, "Let me see your penis."
No, Greg, my wife couldn't care less about my penis, let alone my brother's penis.
Yeah, but this is you know.
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
ridiculous.
Anyway,
That's
so
not
yeah,
true at
so
all.
that happened.
Thank
So we do have the same penis. It turns out that works.
Well, no, hold on. Step back a bit.
She confirmed it. It's
Yeah.
not like we pulled them out and like looked at them together. She looked at
Yes,
his
we
and
did.
had
What
obviously
did she
seen
say?
mine.
She
Wait,
said,
whoa! Matt's got a different interpretation.
Yes,
of the
we
story.
did.
I don't remember that.
Not like
that.
fucking hey goose. What's that? Like we weren't like inverted. It wasn't like we were like cock next to each other. But
Right.
there was a
We
moment.
weren't playing.
in
We
the-
weren't playing fucking lightsabers or
We weren't playing tummy sticks.
Kylo versus Rey.
I haven't seen it yet. Don't tell me.
Okay, we're going to see it tomorrow.
We're going
If anyone
tomorrow.
Wants to come?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna see it in
You
3D.
gonna come with us?
Wait, what?
Not seeing it in 3D.
No, we are not gonna see it in 3D. Because who the fuck sees Star Wars in 3D? Continue, Nick.
No, my
you.
recollection of that particular night was that we were all drunk having fun, and you decided to show her as you were like, "I'll show it," and she was jokingly was like, "Sure, I'll look at it." And of
And
course,
there it was.
the second anyone gives my brother the green light to see his penis, I mean, if you ever meet him, stop him, ask him.
That's
He'll
not
show
gonna
you.
happen at Kinda Funny
He will
Live,
show
too.
you. You can
Nope.
walk up to Kevin and kiss
I'm
him right on
working.
the mouth. Kevin will be fine with that.
What?
Are you not okay with that? Where did we land on the whole?
He doesn't want to be.
people
He
can kiss
doesn't
you on
want to
the
be
mouth?
Herb Coelho.
True.
Fair enough. So that happened, and she was like, "You guys have the same penis. That's your penis." And I was like, "That's crazy.
That's how it worked.
I did not know that."
All right.
So technically, if Nick went into porn, I could be his stunt dick.
You could be my stock.
That's
Or,
really
or
good.
vice versa. You could be my fluffer because it's the same size. I find it very
I often
efficient.
think about my brother's dick.
Yeah, you might have the same dick. You guys actually
haven't
look
seen
a
it.
lot-
I
as
haven't
you get
seen
older.
it since I was little.
Really?
Like really little.
When you get home,
Like,
ask
the
him to see
last
it.
time I saw my brother's dick, I also saw Kevin's dick. So like that was when we were in a bathtub,
What's
the three
Kevin?
of us together.
Don't describe it in detail, but give me a broad stroke
Teeth.
on what Kevin's dick looks like.
I
Here,
mean,
get a pen,
I don't
get a
know.
pen.
What's it compare
It
most
hasn't
to?
been
Draw the cock.
circumcised,
Can
so
you
it's
draw it?
weird.
Gotten a lot darker.
Has it gotten a lot darker?
That happens. That happens though.
Yeah. No.
Your ears keep growing, your nose keeps growing, and that gets darker. Yep, I read that.
You did not read
I did not read that at
You
all.
did not
No,
fucking
I
read
did
that.
not. But it made sense. It made
So
sense
is that
what
the
you
best
said.
story that encapsulates your brother?
No, I'm trying to think of a better. I'm trying to think of the best story that
What's
I can
the
think. I
fucking
mean,
best story.
no, there was just a lot of like we used to throw parties at my folks' house when they'd go out of town. So they were like they'd go out of town to Vegas or on a cruise or some shit like that, and we would immediately throw a raging party, and it was always a blast. And Matt there was a time where he hated me, and then right around the time when I became 14, 15, he was like, oh wait. He's a capable human being.
I want to talk about
I
talk about brother
mold you.
relationships in my topic. So
Okay.
don't go too
I'm
much
gonna go
into
too
that
far
part
into
of
that.
it.
But so there was a time when we used to party together, and I would clean up after him. But it was always fascinating because there was some new girl would come over, and inevitably, like it was just one of those instances where you're like, I don't know what's happening here, but this girl is paying a ridiculous amount of attention to Matt, and then they would just disappear,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would come out like an hour later, just in like cut off sweat shorts that he used to have from like freshman year of like junior varsity football, and he would just do the thing you do. Where like, cause my parents had this over hanging balcony that we all used to smoke on, cause I thought it was cool, and I started smoking at like 14. And he would come out and he would just, stretch his arms up to the top of the balcony and kind of stretch forward with his like perfectly hairless belly, and he would just be like, "What's up, guys?"
Shaved.
And I'm like, "Did you just have sex?" And he's like, "Yes, Nick, I did in fact have sex."
Okay.
And I would be so impressed, but I was also terrified.
Can we?
I was like, "Am I gonna have to have sex?"
Can we stop right there?
'Cause I don't
Are
wanna
you,
have to have sex.
Are
It's
you
scary.
talking about when I was in college or high school?
That was high school.
Okay, I did not.
But maybe that was college.
It has to be college because I didn't have sex until I was in college.
You had sex senior year of high school.
Yeah, maybe the end of senior year.
You did.
Okay. All right. Wait.
And then
Yeah.
she turned lesbian afterward.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
No, but that was like 2 guys after me. That
I don't
wasn't
think she
me.
turned lesbian. I think she was lesbian.
discovered-
all
No,
along.
no,
She
no,
it
discovered
was-
she
no, it
discovered
was a lotion I was using.
After
It was-
being caressed
was
by a
absolutely-
Scarpino,
She's
she
like,
went
you
the
know
other
what?
way with it.
I've been on the fence, but
It's like
I'm getting
this
off
one's
the
scored
fence.
for me. I don't need this or Taco Bell anymore. This is both of those are bad for me.
She's the fuck out. No, she's actually doing really well right now. No, but that was as we all know. It's not a choice. You're
No,
fine
no,
that
she-
way.
I'm
was already
joking about it.
She was already that way.
Yeah, you
And
just
not
you were
having
the-
sex with me, although we had a spiritual connection. I felt. I mean, not at all. And
No,
this
you
is there was like, so there was the one.
You left me in the car one time to go have sex with her, and like you were delivering a pizza, and you came back out. You're like, okay, we're good to go. And I'm like, dude, it's been like half hour. I could have suffocated in here. He didn't crack the window
Oh
for me
my
at all.
God.
I don't
There
even
was
know.
none of
That
that
sounds
shit.
like
I
me,
know
but I
that
don't
the
remember
age,
that at
the
all.
age difference isn't that
Doesn't
bad, but I
make
like
me
to
know.
imagine like a 7-year-old Nick in a car seat kicking his legs, waiting for Matt to come back.
My
from
12-year-old
fucking
brother
somebody.
Matt banging someone out.
I said I know it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make
Yeah,
any
until I
sense.
was like delivering the paper. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, you had to
Give him
drop off a
little bit.
package.
I know, yeah.
You're like the FedEx man.
Yeah.
Sausage pizza.
Yeah. So you're right. I did have, there were a little bit, but we did more like right out in college, like my freshman and sophomore year is when we still
all
threw
started
those
happening.
parties, but we were still kind of dialed in. And then,
Yeah. I think to answer the question, and this is not going to be a racy story at all, but I think the best story I have is when we threw, I think it was around the summer that Mario Kart came out. And we threw on the NC. My parents went out of town for like a week, and it was the fucking hottest balls hot summer you can even imagine. You guys have been to LA, but Riverside's even hotter, and it's even drier, and you want to kill yourself if you're outdoors during the summertime. So we were like, well, how do we figure out, because we don't want to be outside, but we do want to be in the pool.
Yep.
So we either want to be in the air-conditioned house, which
Or
my mom
in
was
the pool.
pissed about because the bill was like $1,000 when she came
Awesome.
back. But that's what you
I
get for going out of
authorized
town,
it.
Mom. My bad.
Time out
authorized it.
real quick, and this is something we can talk about here. Yeah, this is something. You keep talking about your mom going somewhere, your mom's house. Your mom and dad were together,
Yeah,
right?
so
Was your
together.
mom just like
they
the,
went.
No,
so
my dad
the-
didn't care about
no,
it.
No, no,
Gotcha,
This is
thank you.
this is what happened. So is this right, Kevin? Do I just thank you?
nailing it?
So it'd be better if these run lazy Susans. I'm just for future. So every Christmas they would go to Vegas for a week after Christmas, and every Christmas after Vegas we would say, "No, we're not going to do anything." And then the next day it was like, like ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
like,
we throw a fucking party that night. I'd be like,
fucking huge.
when are you leaving? I got people coming over.
Yeah,
Where do you
yeah. It
go?
was like So that's what he's referring to. Okay,
So this was one summer when my parents decided, I think they went to New Orleans or something like that.
Oh.
And they were gone for
Yeah,
an
they were
entire
gone for a long
week.
time.
And they were like,
New
hey,
Orleans.
can you guys watch? I think I was still living there, but I think, no, you were too. So we were both still living there.
I went back and forth a couple times.
Yeah. And
By choice.
we
do what you
threw
gotta do, man.
a party.
Well, I was
that-
more like your mom. Your mom. If I was your parents, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here at 18.
No, and they even
you
said
guys are
that.
horrible children.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty bad.
No.
But we threw a party that was so long that we literally had to take breaks. And part of those breaks were trying to figure out how to stay like warm and still get sun and still drink booze, but not be outside. So what we discovered, and this was a genius, was that one thing is that we could put the cooler in the pool, which was smart.
Oh, wow,
But then
yeah.
we went even further and we put the lounge chairs in the pool as well, so that we could just sit in the shallow end and open up beers there. And then we would have one person that was the designated person that would run back and forth if we needed refills or if you had, if you had to get anything out of the house. And when you opened up the door to the house, it was Arctic
65
cold.
degrees.
Yeah. And then that was where Mario Kart was happening.
We did fucking play. I forgot about
So
that.
all of my friends were in there, and then we would
that
just be
was
back and
super
forth.
fun.
And there was like a 20-person, maybe 30-person party. It was never like a rager,
Sorry,
but
it
it
was a
must have
day.
been at least 50 or 60 people throughout the course of the week, because people were like, yeah, we're gonna fucking rage the Scarpino party. And then 2 days later, like, I got shit to do. I gotta go. I got a job I gotta
Well,
go to.
time's
Well,
lost
we'll
all
be here for a week.
meaning.
Yeah, be here for a week. We'd had people ferrying like packs of cigarettes because we just didn't want to leave. This was before you could like Postmate something and
Yeah,
have someone
yeah.
bring you Taco Bell. So we'd have people as they were coming like, whoa, what are you doing? You got to bring me
Smokes.
some fucking
We need
smokes
some
right now.
cigarettes.
And we need some Del Taco
Ice
ASAP.
and Del Taco
ice.
or Alberto's.
And oh man, I got so charred that summer, but it was so fun. And that's basically my Matt Scarpino story, which is always like we never did anything crazy irresponsible, but it was always the kind of party that we wanted to be at. Just
I mean,
because
he
it was
just
fun.
said he had like 3 DUIs, so I don't know if we should say he never did anything crazy.
No,
or
no,
fun.
no, no,
Okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay.
No, I did not get those DUIs.
God damn it,
That's
man.
not how podcasts work.
No, he's saying he's never convicted.
I was never convicted of the DUIs.
Oh.
Yeah, but you had your time partying. You had your time
He
partying.
did the wink. He's got the wink.
I mean, the problem is, that's just a problem in general with Southern California, is that you just have to fucking drive everywhere. So like inevitably,
We've talked about this. I've talked about the 2 times
bad
I drove
news.
drunk and how much I regret it.
Right.
Now, don't do that.
Matt
Yeah,
definitely
didn't,
regrets it.
didn't you fry
Don't
a
do
CD of some sort because you
I
let some
did,
bitch
yeah.
smoke in your car?
This girl kicked out her cigarette,
heard
went
that.
back in my Dynamite Hack CD, gave its life to make sure my car did not burn down.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
Super surreal to hear you say that in person after I just listened to it
Yeah.
banked on my car. This
Also
is super cool,
surreal
by the
that
way.
you-
Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying
That
it.
I'm just actually like in the cone of silence.
There you go. Yeah,
in
no one
this-
will ever hear what
in
you
this
say
car.
here.
Yeah,
Can't
no, I
be
love it. I
convicted.
love it. I mean, I feel like let me just tell you how I cheat on my taxes here. This is great. Let's move forward.
I'm gonna ask. I'm
That
gonna
was
do a
lie.
note check real quick. Kevin, do we have anything that we feel we have to cut out
No,
of the
this
show
has been
at this
good.
point?
You guys have been good.
No, I mean I put down some things that if you bring up later.
Oh, like he always does,
Yeah,
where he always has
yeah.
that little cowardly
Yeah.
thing at the end of the show. But here's what he goes. Usually what Nick does when a show ends, we're done, we all stand up and he goes, should I cut out that thing? And I go, oh, you mean X? And you're like, yeah, I have nothing on the docket right now.
Good.
I just want to keep reiterating DUIs are bad and don't do it.
Yeah.
We grew up in a different time. You have apps on your phone. Don't fuck around. Not that I'm saying it was okay when we did it.
No, it wasn't okay for me either.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like young and stupid. And
Exactly. Young and stupid. Don't be like
the
that.
other thing is like I was actually I got stopped twice. Well, okay, I got in a
You got
car
stopped a
accident.
lot.
No, I didn't. I got in a car accident. That was not a DUI, but I did. I worked a long week and I went to a fraternity party, and I could only spend like an hour and a half there. So I drank some stuff, and then I was like, fuck, I gotta go. And in your typical life, you have a drink or two, and then you're like, cool. But what happened was by the time I got almost to my parents' house,
It's just like a 40-minute drive. From
it's
the
like I
party.
did like an hour drive in the middle of the night, and I get to this light, no one's around, and my stereo was on. I was smoking a cigarette, windows down, and I fell asleep. And the car kept moving forward for
Oh,
about
shit.
like half a mile. I drove straight down this hill,
Downhill.
and as the hill curved to the left, my car kept going straight, and I hit a palm tree.
Now, palm trees don't move.
Yeah, I almost died.
Big.
Really?
big
That story
trees.
got horrifying
Yeah.
real fast.
So we
No,
get a
that's why
call-
you don't want to drink and drive or
Yeah.
even be tired and have one drink, because I had worked my ass off. We had a tech week,
Yeah.
which in theater means you're working 16, 18-hour days. And then, we had the fraternity party on Friday night. I get in the car. I drive home, brand new EX coupe with the fin and leather and all this shit. And
As you do.
I fucking hit that tree at 50 miles an hour.
Jesus.
And
Yeah, it was bad. That car was totaled.
I,
Were you in a seatbelt?
I was. That's why I broke this clavicle, snapped. But I didn't. See, this is the thing. They don't tell you this when you get in a car accident, that you're gonna, unless you're in a head-on, like the airbag deployed, everything happened that was supposed to. The engine blew, the mounts blew, fell. My gear, like the knob, got sucked into the car. The wind, like the car wrapped itself around the palm tree. And I remember, first of all, the music was loud, dust. And I was like, holy shit, I'm alive. That's amazing. But the door wouldn't open, so I had to climb out the passenger seat. And immediately, I light a cigarette. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can't. And I look around and no one's there. So I'm like, okay, great. So this guy pulls up and he goes, dude, are you okay? And I go, I think so. He goes, I'll give you a tow truck. And I'm like, yes, that seems logical. And at the time I was in shock. So I didn't realize what was happening to my body. I just thought, hey, I just survived. That's cool. Turned off my radio, as you do when your car's parked. And so these two people that were on their patio, it was next to a golf course. So they were on their patio, probably doing it. And they
I like to believe they were doing it.
They ran down with their like cordless like house phone and called 911. And so the guy's like, are you okay? And he like looked at me and I go, yeah, man, I'm just really hot. I'm sweating. And he goes, and I was like, what's wrong? Oh, and it's my hands were covered in blood because I broke my nose and I cut my face. Like the airbag seems like did something to my face and my teeth. I like, you know how when you eat
you
an
had
egg,
you had like burns on your face.
yeah, you
from
have
the
burns on
airbag.
your face. They don't tell you about. And then
Dust
you know
in the
how like
airbag.
when you eat an egg shell and you go, oh, I just ate a shell. That's because my teeth ground down. So I had that. I was spitting out teeth and I was wearing shorts. So like my knees were swollen from hitting. I bent the steering wheel because I'm big. So I get out and I was like, oh, shit, I got towels in my trunk. So I go around the corner, I put the key in the thing, I turn it, and with my left arm, I just did like this, and I raised the truck, and the bones that had snapped went like that. And then I was a pussy. Then I was like, oh my God, it's so painful.
Wow, what
and
the fuck is
but in my
911?
mind, because it's like rolling, and in my mind, because I was still drunk, I was like, okay, wait a minute. Let's think about this. I'm letting it stick around. I go, well, in Lethal Weapon, he just hits his shoulder.
Oh, no, Matt.
And throws it back in.
No, Matt, please no.
And I was like, maybe I should do that. But then I'm like, but if it's not dislocated, I could fucking die. All right, I'm not going to. But I remember thinking maybe I could just pop it in and get out of this. Like I was just trying to get out of it.
Right.
But at that point, the guy's like, your knees are swollen. You might want to sit down. You're bleeding, whatever. I destroyed the car. It was like 4 months of whatever. I still get headaches because of this, and that was 15 years ago, 16 years ago.
Now,
So that was the first time. That was the last time actually. One of the other times I just got pulled over. I'd been to a party all day drinking at the pool, and I slipped and I hurt my ankle. So when I got out, I was like limping, and he's like, I know you've been drinking. He put me on the line. I was like, look, I live right there. I fell, but technically he could have given me a breathalyzer, and it probably would have blown a level. That would have fucked me. But other than that, we don't do that anymore. I Uber. I sit at home because I'm 40 and I have a house that I pay a mortgage. I have really expensive bourbon and some other things, and I'm good to go. Like I don't need to, I don't need to drink and drive. It's expensive. I love those things that say you just blew $10,000, and I'm like, no, you blew a lot more than 10 grand. That's just the upfront fee. But anyway, so that's disclaimer's done. I don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore.
Now, I'll tell you a couple things about this story. I know we got to move on because we're getting along the tooth on this topic.
Who the
This
fuck
is
cares?
amazing.
We can have no
He's
topics.
proved that he's your older brother by referencing Lethal Weapon in his dire times of need.
That's
No, it really
well,
popped into my head.
There
It
was
really
a bit.
popped
There was a
into my
time
head.
when Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 were like the grail to us. We fucking love those.
We
films.
watched that movie daily. And sometimes
yeah.
my mom was like, you are not watching it again. And we were like, blasphemy, woman. And we'd watch it again.
We watch that shit again.
Fucking
Again, at
and
18,
again.
get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, no.
Nah, she's
So
not
I
gonna do
mean,
that. She's
so
not
there's a
gonna
couple
say that.
reasons why this story that my brother just regaled you with totally fucked me. One was that was a brand new car that he wrecked.
Fucking yeah.
It was a brand new
$26,000.
fucking Civic that for some crazy reason my parents decided to buy my brother.
No shit.
I was a senior and I was doing well.
Yeah, real well.
Yeah.
Real well.
I was awesome.
Might as well throw that out the window.
They did.
So when it comes time for Nick to get a car, I get a budget of $2,500, and the best I can find is a 4-speed Honda Civic hatchback.
It was sky
that's
blue,
powder blue.
It's so cute.
We called
he was
it-
a little
we called
fat
it
kid
sporty.
in a little fat car.
Now
and it was
I
just
was
like,
so
he'd
fat,
just drive up,
and this car was so underpowered that it couldn't make it up one of the bigger hills in Riverside that I had to get home. So I'd have to circumvent that by taking slightly less steep hills, so I could actually make it up. And if I had someone in the car, it was the most embarrassing thing. Because it would be like, there'd be like an old lady with a walker that would be walking faster than you up this hill, and I'd be like, God damn it, this is the worst. And I could have had I could have had that Civic. They could have handed it down to me.
Did you crash that blue sky blue?
I did
into
crash that sky
into
blue
the back
Civic.
of a school bus?
No, it wasn't a school bus. It was a
Didn't you
pickup
hit
truck.
it? But you hit a school bus.
I think they hit a school bus.
Oh, the truck hit the school bus. Stu and I were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
And he has way more detail because I wasn't there. All I got was mom said, "Your fucking brother hit a goddamn school bus. I gotta go." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
So you
And
gotta
then she
love mom,
came
by the
back
way,
with
because
that.
I was on both sides of those calls. I was on the side of the call where you got.
You were in bed.
I was in bed. She downplayed it to the point where I was like, "Great, Matt wrecked his car." I didn't realize you were on death's fucking door.
It was me and a woman that had just died in the ER. That's freaky too.
Yeah, that's a little freaky. So my mom, God bless her, is the perfect Italian mother in that she's able to quickly turn any situation to a massive affront toward her.
Oh, it's her
And
fault.
so
Yeah,
when
she's
I
got killed.
called to say, "Hey, I got in a car accident," the first words out of my mom's mouth, and I think what she meant by this was, "I'm glad you're okay," and clearly from your voice you're okay.
Sure.
But what came out of her mouth was, "How could you do this to me?
Yeah.
How could
That's
of
like a
all
common
the
phrase.
mornings,
That's a
this
common-
Monday
yep.
morning when I have nothing to do, you've chosen to get into a car accident, and now I have to." And she said the same thing. Your fucking brother got into a car accident. He was probably fucking drunk. And I was like, "Well, is he okay?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, I'm going back to bed." And then I realized about a year later, I'm like, I can't get a car now because this motherfucker, because he wrapped that shit around the
And
palm
then
tree.
you said, "Fuck you, mom and dad. I'm moving to San Francisco."
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll
Serves
never
them
call you
right.
again.
And
Fuck
I started
them.
a YouTube channel. I fucking
Yeah.
see my parents all the time.
No, you don't.
I see my dad all the time. I'm not
don't.
mama's boy like you are going over there to fucking drop my dogs off so
Oh.
she can take care of it.
Are you
Look, I
fucking
got these
kidding?
dogs for you
Are
to
you
take
fucking
care of.
kidding me right now? I'm just trying to make up the difference, brah. Mister, licking my beard.
You just want to fucking be.
I cannot grow a beard. I look like
can't.
fucking
How
some
did
kind
we
of
get-
Italian Santa Claus.
How did we get you and I literally got opposite, besides the penis,
fucking
which we've already
jacked.
established is the
It's the
exact same
same.
penis. You and I got opposite ends of the gene pool. You're taller than me. You got better skin. You had like you have blonde hair growing up, and you don't grow hair anywhere else. You grow it
That's
like
incorrect.
a little bit on
currently.
your back, a lot on your balls. Well, probably not anymore.
No, yeah, but it's
Still
like
get a lot down there?
stringy.
And you don't even have
Karen
ass
nared
hair.
me before I came up, so
Yeah.
I'm ready to swim.
Yeah,
I'm
didn't
ready
you?
to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it's always fascinating. I got kind of like what's left over from the genes on that one. And you were always way more motivated than I was.
Yeah, but that's because I was motivated, but I didn't want to use science to save my hair
Oh, you mean the pills that I take?
or any of the shit that's online. Yeah, I
could
watched
have.
the video.
You could have.
Pretty good. No, I could not have because I don't care.
You
I
look
used
good.
to use some stuff and then it whatever. Well, no, because when I met my wife 8 years ago, she was like, she was trying to explain. I learned this later, but she explained me to her mother and said, "He's very funny and he listens." And of course, you know that happens at the beginning of every relationship.
Yeah, you always
and now
listen.
I'm an asshole, but we're working it out. And she would say, I said, "So what did you say to your mom?" And she said, "Well, I think he looks like Ed Harris." And I went, "Okay, stop right there. Ed Harris from The Abyss, Ed Harris, or Ed Harris from Pollock?" Because two different Ed Harris. I want to be Ed Harris from The Abyss.
To be fair, any Ed Harris is a good Ed Harris.
Yeah, but Ed Harris from Pollock is like,
Well, he was playing Jackson Pollock.
I
for
know
Christ's sake.
he's
It's like
Chunky
the
Monkey. Yeah, but when you
crazy
say
artist.
when you say does Tim look like Vanilla Ice or
Macklemore.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like you have to give them like you know. She said no, Ed Harris from The Abyss, and I went great. That's awesome.
I can live with
Yeah,
that.
I'll
I
take
can
right.
take
That's
that.
a great.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
you
great
can take
because
that.
he was badass in that
Yeah.
movie and
yeah,
looked good.
All I want, and because my
Bald.
hair's going still, slowly but surely. The Propecia that I'm taking, the pills that I take, or I take a generic version of that. Ask your doctor.
Side
those-
effects include poster tube throwing rage.
yeah. But that stuff does not. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop it. It just slows it down a little bit. So
Maybe
eventually,
you could just do the shaved head with that beard.
well, I'm going to. But I
Max
just want
Payne.
people. If you get Ed Harris, I just really want someone to be like, you know, the next girl that I date after my wife. I want her to be able to refer to me to her parents as he kind of looks a little like Bruce Willis from Die Hard. I'd be okay with that.
no one knows who Bruce Willis is anymore from Die
From
Hard.
Die Hard.
Not the kids I hang out with. Their young kids are like, who?
Oh, from Expendables, you mean?
Yeah,
I
but
know.
nobody cares.
No,
From
I
Red.
know.
Die Hard is not a thing anymore.
It is a
It's
thing.
It's still a
done.
thing.
Is it
It's
still
not
a thing?
It's still a thing.
It's
They're
definitely
still making
not.
it.
Is it?
Every Christmas, everybody tweets about it.
Yeah. Okay. I bet you that the majority of people tweeting about it haven't seen it.
Oh, I know.
Doesn't matter. I
I'd
still
say
know about it.
majority.
No.
I don't even know
Well,
if they
okay,
do.
the majority of people tweeting about everything haven't seen anything
True.
they're tweeting
Great
about.
point.
That's very true.
Great
Because
point.
because I tweet a lot. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about most of the time.
Tim,
Yes.
how do you want to handle this?
I don't know. I mean, I can talk forever about that stuff. I have a lot of questions, but I guess I'll save
Do
them.
you- I mean,
no,
we could-
let's save them for the brother topic. They still make
Gotcha,
sense.
good
They
call.
still make sense. So my topic, I want to know about what you do because what you do is really, really, really interesting to me.
Okay.
So my understanding of it, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, go for it.
There's set design. There's a lot of the tech stuff, but it's also just kind of the overall production of things.
Correct.
So I love you because you're just like, hey, let's just do all those things you want to do. How to make them cooler. This is how. Let's do it. It's fucking great. I appreciate Disneyland for so many reasons. Reason one being the production elements of it,
Sure.
and like the animatronics and just the experience that they create, whatever. And all that is set design. All that is like production elements and stuff. Is that what you do? Because I imagine you just make Disneyland.
No, because I don't usually have that much money. But that's exactly right.
Okay.
I do that. Thank you for your question. No, I'm joking. You want to know
No, but so I mean,
what
so,
I do on a daily basis. Well, here's
Who's
how.
your daddy and what does he do?
who's your daddy?
Here's to answer the first part of your question. So, as a trained set designer, I'm sorry, just the stupid thing you say about fucking rock climbing popped into my head. I was going to say, in the design community, Tim, this choach over here that
it's not a
doesn't
big
fucking
deal.
know
Once
how to
you're-
tie knots,
Once
and
you
he's
remember,
fucking climbing.
I fucking
Go.
know how to tie one knot.
One knot. Yeah, that's great.
The one that
you
I had
fucking
to
hanging
tie
from a rock and
was the
die.
figure eight.
Asshole. Anyways, so this is a great topic. Thank you. Okay, so I started as an actor, loosely termed, but I was in musical theater, and when I decided that I wanted to, there's something about acting that's very finite. Like for that moment, when you're in theater, you do a show, you do it every day for months. That's how you make money. But I was bored with that because I would always like the show's open, and I'm like, I want another one. I don't want to do the same thing. So as I started to figure out, okay, maybe I want to do a little architecture. I like design. Our dad is very, very good with his hands. So I did a lot of work with him on the house and whatever we're doing. But as I was getting into design or just the technical end of theater, I was like, I kind of really dig this too. And I did it in high school, but I went to acting. But then I said, no, I'm gonna focus on this when I go to grad school. So I started in grad school set design, and in those classes and when you train, you give people the world that the story happens in. So you have to sell that world, right? And animated, and look at me, it's like a dog and pony show. And one of my professors said, you are a master at the dog and pony show. Your design is shit, but you can sell it, which is, now I think about that, it's kind of a fucking dick thing to say.
Now,
But
that's on your business card.
yeah. Your design is shit. Welcome to the Dog and Pony Show. 40 grand. Thank you. But I mean, like, as you start to design and get into those meetings, you work with producers and you come up with concepts and you're constantly selling yourself. You're constantly getting new jobs. So, you don't just start off as a set designer. It's like you guys started a podcast and then all of a sudden all this stuff's happening. A year later, you have way more work to do in different avenues and you're planning a live show. I did the same thing. I started as a set designer. I ran a little sound for live events and concerts and mixed shows. And so all of a sudden I started working in theaters doing that when I couldn't get a design job. I met the owner of ZFX Flying Inc. In Yorba Linda, and I started working for them. And I was what they call a fly choreographer, a director. So my job was to meet with the director, producer, whatever, and come up with the concepts for all the special effect flying for the humans that were flying in the show, and also some other things like Aladdin's magic carpet and a lot of those kind of things. Not the one at Disneyland because that's
If you fucking had anything to
that's
do
it.
with that, I would fucking die.
No, because that's all different. That's all like automated stuff, and Disney makes their own stuff. But if you're like just a theater company that wants to rent equipment, you use a couple different companies, and I worked for one for 2.5 years, which led me to Broadway when I worked with Martin Short in his show. And I worked it here, so I stayed with Nick when he used to work.
Did you ever
lived in
party
San
with Martin
Mateo?
Short?
I met Martin Short.
Yo, we did party with Marty. That's right, we
We
did.
did.
We partied with Marty. That's what he calls it, a party with Marty.
He's a really fucking cool guy.
He's
Yeah.
a fucking great
Really
guy.
fucking cool guy.
I don't know him, but he seems awesome.
No,
Yeah.
because he would go, Nicholas.
Yes.
And,
And I was like,
how are you doing?
but also what?
Jiminy Click.
No, that's because that was in the show too. So his idea for the one man show was everything. So he was what are the other characters?
The guy
There's
with
Jimmy
the
Glick,
hair up.
Yes,
I can't think of
I can't imagine. He was on SNL. That everyone's gonna go crazy on that one.
No, actually, that's a very dated reference
Yeah.
that
Is
not
it?
many
Okay.
people are
No
going
one
to
will
get.
remember
Okay, good.
that.
No,
I'm
none
gonna
of
look
you
it up.
people
I'm
know.
gonna look it up.
No, look it up. It's
Kevin, Kevin's
no,
gonna-
it's not. It's Ed Grimley.
That
Yes.
sounds right.
It's Ed Grimley. So he had all these characters from his
Edgar.
life in what?
Yeah, I remember him saying that. Yeah.
He had all these characters in his life that he wrote the show, but they had some flying elements in the show. And so I came to the Kern, and I worked here for 2 weeks at the Clift Hotel.
Ooh, very nice.
Delicious. And then I was done. And then they said they went to Texas and a couple other places. And I was actually renovating my parents' bathroom. I was helping my dad out laying tile. And I got a call from one of the production managers saying, Martin Short slipped out of his harness. They want you to go to Broadway and help him for a week. just to make sure he feels better. And so it was very surreal to like jump into this team of the original, like the director and producer of Hairspray, the Broadway musical, Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman, were directing and writing the music. And so that was kind of exciting to be on that team. And I only worked like 30 minutes a day. I could only work on his lunch break because of union rules. So I basically watched the show at night, lived in New York for a little while, like a week and a half, 2 weeks, just kind of hanging out there, waiting to make sure everything's cool, going to the open night parties, things like that.
I fucking love everything about this.
Yeah.
That was my only time though. Like I sat, but that was another epiphany moment where I was like, and I worked with Scott Pask, who's this amazing set designer who has many Tony Awards, and I idolized him for a while, and I still do. It's just I didn't want to have that world, but I used their world as like a baseline for me. So then I was like, well, I could make more money building scenery and designing scenery and helping companies produce things, and that's what ultimately led me to this. But and so I'm offering more. I just keep, like, someone says, can you do this? And I think I can, I do it. And then I go, oh, I can offer that as a service now. I mean, I work with a lot of associates. Like you'll meet when we do Kind of Funny Live 2 and
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. Oh my God, could you break dance in
We
it?
fucking call it that?
That would be
amazing.
fucking, I probably might. Well, always just have like cardboard on the stage and you just kind of throw.
And just
Like
do
one of
things.
these.
I think I'm the wrong guy for that, but
Okay,
I
no,
could
You're a
try.
perfect guy for that.
I could try.
Copy that.
Kevin can do it.
So I mean, we get concepts to do all kinds of crazy stuff from live events. I work in Napa for the Jimmy Valvano V Foundation Cancer Benefit. I've done that the last 14 years.
Every year, Matt sends me, and I totally forget he's up here, and he never really tells me he's coming up because he doesn't want to fucking hang out with me. He says better cool shit to do. But he'll send me like,
No, I just can't get through your agent. That's the problem. Your people won't call me back.
Kevin, can you fucking
call him back when he calls.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks.
Jesus, Kevin.
Continue.
Talked about this. But no, Matt'll be at this cool like really swanky Napa Valley like party where you can just smell the wealth. And on stage will be like, he'll just send me just a snippet, like a 5-second video of Hall & Oates playing, or Michael McDonald, or like some of these awesome badass 80s bands.
The format of the show is raise a bunch of money and then give them a live,
Show.
like a show at the end. So we've worked with a lot of big names, people.
Yeah,
Kenny Loggins and
K-Log.
Oh,
K-Log.
shit.
Highway to the Danger Zone.
Yeah, K-Log.
Footloose.
He did sing Footloose
Scarpino
too.
himself.
People think I look like a young Kenny Loggins.
Have you ever seen the
It's
album
not a big
cover? I
deal.
mean, he looks
ridiculous.
just like
It's really weird. When I
K-Log,
first saw it, I thought it was a Photoshop.
he looks
Kevin
more like
inserted.
Oscar Isaacs to me than me, but I'll take it.
No.
I'll take it. I'll
It's
take it
you.
if people think I look like Oscar Isaacs too.
Now, the thing that I appreciate most about you is that you make us look super, super fucking cool. Because like
Okay.
we're in here and we're just, we're kind of dipshits. But you make us look like rock star dipshits. And if we look like rock star dipshits, people think that we are that.
It's
And
perception.
Kind of Funny Live is one example of that, where you recreated the set on stage, which is fucking
was awesome, yeah.
Super fun. That's one of the best moments of Kind of Funny Live.
Yeah, that was fun.
Pulling the curtain down. And I also appreciate your attention to detail when it comes to the build up and the moments, you know. But I'm not even talking about Kind of Funny. At IGN, you made the coolest things happen from when I was a part of IGN. Like we made, the Macklemore video and the Avengers video and the Harry Potter April Fool's stuff and all that. Those things were cool videos, but we never looked bigger and like more important, even if we're not. But we didn't look it. Besides Comic-Con. Or
man.
E3.
Those stages you do for Comic-Con, yeah.
And
That
so
was
it's like, if
pretty-
you guys have
that
ever
year
seen
that you
at
hosted
IGN,
was awesome.
all
I
the
did a
shit
few
that Greg
years, but
hosted
yeah.
at
No,
Comic-Con,
when we
they
had
did
the
the set.
big, when we did the big set. The first time I worked with you.
The gym? When we had
Which one are you
the
talking
gym
about?
for the first
What are we
time.
talking about?
The first time we did Comic-Con for IGN.
Yeah, that was when
Then-
Adam West was like,
Because we're from
"Thank you for joining me in
space.
space."
Yeah.
You were on that. I
Yeah,
think you were on that one.
No, what I'm saying is the first time I met Greg as a
Gotcha.
That might have been, yeah.
On
That was
set.
the first. I think that was the first gig. No, the first gig was E3.
I understand
didn't
that, but he's talking about the Comic-Con set, and that's why I was talking to
But
Greg.
what
about
about,
that.
what
Oh,
was
that's actually the first
before
time.
we
No, you
had
would have
the
met him
set.
on E3. You would have met him on E3.
Maybe I met him on E3, yeah, but no.
But Comic-Con's when we
Shit.
bonded.
That's true.
And I'm
That's
also
true.
saying that the Comic-Con set blew the pants off.
Yeah, it was
the
really
E3
fun.
Set, is what I'm saying.
Are you referring to the only live show that had a set at Comic-Con?
No, we
Was,
had one, but we had one the year
extensive?
before. We had worked with a vendor who was.
No, I understand.
We
I
did not
remember.
want to work with again. 'cause
But
he was,
the year before, the one when it was like in that warehouse and we had to open the door and
That
stuff like
wasn't
that. Yeah, and
No,
exactly.
but we went back to that one the next year after you guys last year.
Yeah. But yeah, so the one with the huge, just the Comic-Con set with the lights that like did the X
Yeah.
thing.
X
My
Gucci.
God, it was so cool. And then again, the
right.
jib.
Moving lights, yeah.
And now jib, we're throwing around this term. Jib is that fucking awesome crane camera that like swings around and shit and makes everything look like it's a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
Kevin, use the
So
jib
it's
right
like,
now.
You just have to grab the camera and just move it around.
It's
That's
like,
what he's saying.
what are we doing with Kevin? You know what I mean? Like, what's he doing?
Here's my
It's-
thing.
it's one of those
He's on his phone right now.
I
Is that
know.
even legally
He's looking at the
possible?
chive. I guarantee he's looking at pictures of
His
naked
feet-
women on the
his
chive.
feet are kicked up and he's on his phone and he is the modern day Janine. He is Janine from Ghostbusters.
You are our
just
Janine.
chilling out over there.
Ghostbusters,
Type something,
what do you
will you?
want?
We're paying for this
Paying
stuff.
for this stuff.
But I mean, it was always it was impressive to us because you made us look fucking cool. But even more than that, like it was impressive to the users at home and all that. But to people that actually fucking know what shit looks like and what is. So like celebrities, the people that Greg was interviewing, all of the, you know, the stars from TV shows or the stars from movies. And we're talking Greg's interviewed fucking everybody at this point. We're talking Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson. These guys walk into this room, the cast of Avengers, like all this stuff. They walk into this room and like they were like, oh shit. You know, and it's because they're used to going to these interviews that are just like in
Stand
a room
up, a room
somewhere,
and stand up,
or like
yeah.
standing in front of just like a fucking wall with a bunch of repeating
step and
pictures
repeat, yeah.
or whatever, or something, you know, like a E Weekly or an MTV type thing that are a little bit higher level, but that's TV and stuff. But walking into this room, it looked like we were guys that have something to fucking prove,
Yeah.
and it's like we proved it, and that was the coolest thing because there were so many times because a lot for Comic-Con, depending on the year, I did a lot of the more behind the scenes like. Bullshit video work.
It's called producing, Tim.
Which was
No, it's also called bullshit.
That's called producing.
but whatever. So yeah, I was doing that goddamn shit, and people would walk in, and I'd see them be like, "Oh shit!" Like be impressed by the just sheer magnitude of what was in front of them, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
the
it was
most
really
real
fulfilling.
thing we ever did at IGN. Because at IGN's awesome and it's this huge website and it's great and we make a lot of cool shit, but we make cool shit in the same way we make cool shit here, where it's like, this is gonna max us out. I don't know if we're gonna do it. You pull it off and it looks great and nobody understands how much is happening behind it. But like, yeah, you walk in, there's like actual tables set up and labeled and wires and walkways and arrows and jibs and this and a lady yelling at you never to fucking walk on the IGN logo they have out there because it'll break.
A
You're like,
lady. Oh, Hannah's
it's
gonna
a
go
real
crazy.
deal. It's a real-
Sorry, Hannah.
Hey, first off, Hannah, I remember you. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say just some rando person. You know what I mean?
No,
Calm
but
down.
I
Hannah.
remember one of the best stories from I think it was the second year we did it because I don't think it was the first. I think it was the second year when they brought on the cast of one of the Hobbit films.
It was the
Maybe
second Hobbit movie.
Was it the second Hobbit movie?
Yeah.
And they brought the entire cast, and we only had seats on. And we had planned for this, but we only had seats on the stage for like max 6 people. But we had a second stage that they didn't know about, and so there was some kerfuffle with their PR people where they were like, "Well, who, you know, this is not going to do because we can't we didn't want to put them in a bad place because they're like, who's going to go on? How do we pick between our children here? You know what I mean?"
Right,
And I
right.
was like, and I had to approach one of them as the producer of the show and say, "Look, we've got space for you guys in the balcony." And they were like, "Well," and I'm like, "Trust me, even the balcony. If you
The
like this,
balcony's the
the
spot."
balcony's even better."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Trust me." And
That
so
was huge.
indoor, we had this
That was
really
a
big,
huge
beautiful,
decision.
very quiet production with like Lee Pace and some of the other actors that were there. And then outdoor, fucking pandemonium was happening
Yeah.
because everyone realized the cast. You know, and Matt had brought some other things in there, so the lighting looked nice. But then back behind them
Oh my God.
was just a sea of people, Comic-Con
Yeah.
goers, who realized that the fucking Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit cast was up there, and
It was
they were
really just Orlando
screaming.
Bloom that went.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, it was
So
Orlando.
I mean, so that was the year that I
That's
liked
surreal.
it because that's when I wasn't doing the fucking bullshit and I
Right.
was doing the cool bullshit.
Yeah, you were like producing on that.
Yeah,
that
so
we
I
were
was
on the
I
balcony,
was on
right?
the balcony, and so I just had a camera set up and all these things, and you and your fucking dudes set up this thing, and it had this crazy ass like white drape that you were using to like
To
take
flag
the
off the
sun's
sun, yeah.
power. It was kind of like if you've seen Star Wars. It was
Exactly
like the
like
Star
that.
Killer
I like
base.
when Tim describes production land. It sounds like an apocalyptic event.
Put up the cloth that took the sun's power.
I mean, whatever. So I'm sitting down there, and it was
And
just
redirected
like,
it
I'd
towards
sit
their
there all
faces.
day, and then people would just come out, and it would just be like it was the B stage, but it wasn't B stage.
No,
in
it was
terms
just
of
another
whatever.
space.
It was
It's
another
another
space.
cool
But the thing
space.
was, your beautiful set was inside, but outside was this thing that you guys set up so well that it was just an audience of people on the streets.
Yeah.
So if they heard that someone famous was up there, everyone's waiting out there like looking up, going
No, it's
crazy.
definitely the most
can see
ideal
it.
spot for
And
IGN.
throughout the day, it just got crazier and crazier because, you know, it started off and we had a couple like just, you know, smaller people and no one really cared. Then eventually they're like, oh shit, that's Jada Pinkett Smith. And eventually it's like, oh shit, that's
Fucking Selma Hayek.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
That's Selma Hayek. That's whatever. And then by the end of the day, it was when it was Lord of the Rings people. And they came in and then they had to split the group and half of them had to go on the stage. The other half had to
They
go
had
on the
a blast.
balcony.
Yeah, they had a really good time.
And it was great. I'll never forget being out there and Orlando Bloom coming out and like we couldn't even do the interview because people were just going so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah, it was good. It was really fun. That was like the last interview of that show too. So
Yeah.
it was really fun.
It was a nice wrap
to see
up.
that happen. And it's also just weird when, we would mount that show and like Daniel Radcliffe would come in and be like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like this is awesome. First off, he's a really fucking cool guy.
Yeah.
He's
Just
really cool.
pretty rad.
he seems like he's having fun at all times.
Everywhere.
Every time
You know
he's
why,
doing
though?
anything.
Do you know why?
Because he's
Magic.
fucking badass.
Because he's fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah,
and
he's
rich.
fucking Harry Potter and badass.
Go fuck yourself.
So like seeing him, but then seeing like so that's a different vibe where you're like, you belong in this world, Daniel Radcliffe. Like you are Harry Potter. You are a person who got famous for doing something that exists at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like how many fucking Harry Potter like people from Hogwarts or from Gryffindor did you see walking around Comic-Con? A lot, right? But then you see someone like Selma Hayek come in, who has played like Frida, has played like, been nominated. I don't know if she's been nominated for Academy Awards, but
She
could
has
be
to have been
nominated
by
for
now.
Academy Awards, right?
No, I doubt that.
And she walks in, and I remember you had a great story about her where you were like, she didn't like the lighting. She just wanted to stand right here. And what the fuck are you going to say to Selma Hayek?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
stand wherever you want to stand, Selma Hayek.
Honestly, like that is probably my craziest
She
story.
was cool, but she
dealing-
was super professional.
Yeah, dealing
Super
with
pro.
with the celebrity. It was one of my most interesting things because usually people are like, oh, this guy's behind the camera. I'm just gonna listen to him, tell me
Yeah,
what
yeah.
to do.
Right.
I'm gonna kind of give you attitude and just deal with it that way and whatever. I'm like, all right, fine, cool. You look good. Let's go. She was just like, hey, I don't like this lighting. Can I stand here? I need you to move over here. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do that, Selma Hayek.
You got to respect that. You
Do
got
you
to
want to hear about my Pokemons?
Yeah, let me know.
But man, yeah. So that was a fun experience. And that was always obviously something that like when I was producing those shows that I tried to bring for everyone because it's just a fun environment to be around. And that's to sort of the credit of what Matt does is when you can create that environment for the talent to sort of thrive in, then you've done your job right as an artist. And I think that walking in and seeing that just. And I would see it in people because a lot of people don't know that, or you maybe don't think about it out there. But when you see these junket interviews at Comic-Con, this is not the first and last stop these people go on.
No.
I think the Lord of the Rings people had done every single media outlet
They
they
were
could possibly
pissed.
do.
They were
through the
a
hot
little
interviews.
crabby.
So you're talking about
Which is
3
understandable.
days of back-to-back interviews, and when you're a publicist or you're a PR person, and you have to fucking wrangle 9 A-list celebrities to get place to place, and everyone's stopping them every 5 seconds, and you have to get cars to pick them up, even to drive them like down the road a half a foot. It can get pretty stressful, and watching people's eyes as they walked in and went, oh. Okay, this is actually something like these people know what they're doing. It's comfortable, and my client's going to look good. Like we had a lot of nice feedback from PR people just saying, like, this is really cool. I'm glad you guys went the extra mile for this. And I'm like, well, I didn't go the extra mile for this. He went the extra mile for it. All my job didn't change. And if anything else, it made it easier because I had a professional crew behind me that can actually watch my back and make sure people weren't snapping a sign somewhere or tripping over a fucking light and starting a fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's so awesome now taking it from IGN and bringing it to Kind of Funny. I love with Kind of Funny Live the fact that those guys don't get credit. Like you making the set and like building this whole thing at IGN, that was IGN. Oh, IGN had this set and whatever. But it's like with what we've built and all this stuff, people are like, oh, now they're going to know Matt did this. Nick's brother made this. You know what I mean? You and his team, whatever.
And Hannah.
And Hannah, for sure. And shout out to Hannah.
And Steve.
Yeah, and
Giltner,
Steve.
yes.
But that's the thing is that we have a team. You have a team. We like together, our teams work together. It's like the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers. But it's like, you don't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy are.
I think we're the Guardians
But
of the
then
Galaxy.
once you do know who they are, you're like, oh, fuck, I like them and I want them to all hang out.
Right.
And I just think it's cool that, at Kind of Funny Live 2, you're going to be like a fucking celebrity. You're going to have to tell people, shut the fuck up because you're doing your
A
goddamn
lot of people are
job.
going to ask to see your cock.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, I hope
Don't
not.
show any people your cock because it
You already
might be
said.
all ages. We haven't locked in the venue yet. So if it's people who are 16, they don't need to see it. If it's a nice 22 to 23-year-old
No, I'm
person,
gonna be.
you can show 'em.
It's gonna. Well, okay. So there's two things. Like when Greg said, are you embarrassed? What's an embarrassing Nick story? I don't really have those, and I would do anything for him. Like being serious for a second. You only have certain brothers. Like you have a brother, and you know this.
Don't ruin my topic.
And you don't have a brother. It's your brother. You don't have a brother.
No.
I'm gonna ruin your topic if I say this.
I don't know. My topic is brothers. We can transition real slowly to my topic if you want. I mean, if you want.
Well, I was just trying to say, like, you have a client, and I don't think Kind of Funny is a client of mine, but you have clients. You have to make sure that your job is to make them look as good as possible, and clients will do things to keep you from doing that, even if they don't know they're doing that. So it's our job to speak every language. Like one of my professors in college said, and she was trained by kind of the Yoda of set design in the United States, if you want to say that, because everybody calls him Yoda. head of Yale's MFA design program, Ming-Cho Lee. No, Tony Walton. Tony Walton is a professional set designer on Broadway who Ann worked with also. But Ming-Cho Lee is the father of essentially third generation, third down from the father of set design in America. And so he's trained all these artists, and he would say, and then I learned this through her, we can't expect directors or clients to learn our language. We have to learn director. We have to learn their language. They are going to say what they want. They are going to figure out they don't know. Like you're saying all this stuff to me. I'm not going to say you're wrong or right. I'm just going to take it in, figure out the language, and then move forward. And I think I have fun doing that. I'm doing another load in Monday and Tuesday at ACT, professional theater company down the street.
Oh, I thought like the test.
And I'm taking the
SATs again.
I'm taking the SATs again. I've never gotten over an 800. I was stupid in school. I'm like the dumbest. Took it 4 times. And this fool took it once in the thousands. And I was like, well, eventually.
I took it twice.
Did you take it twice?
Yeah, I took it twice. That's part of the reason why you were going to tell that stupid story about me punching a tree earlier.
Oh, is that why you punched the tree? I thought you got mad at
Save
Mom.
it. That'll be the first part of Brothers.
But anyway, just to end this, you're right. I mean, we have to speak the language, but I love, my greatest joy is to make my clients per se to deliver what they want, but do a little extra. But when Nick came up and said, I got these guys, I don't know, I might leave IGN, I'm like, that automatically translated. Once I met you guys, I was like, well, let's make you guys as big as possible. So
you speak my language for sure.
No, well, I mean, but at the same time, it's like everyone's got their stories, but like I love all of you individually for different reasons. That's why I love the show so much. I tell everyone to listen to the show. I talk about the show all the time. I'll be in meetings for my podcast because I'm producing some podcasts, and I'll be like, well, it's kind of funny. They have 156,000 subscribers, 5 different shows a week. They're always live. And they're like, yeah, well, this is not Nick's show, Matt. And I'm like, well, I know, because we'd be making money. Joke. That was a joke. We'll make money one year. But that's the thing. It's what does that mean? Does that mean that
Kevin is on hair patrol because Tim was not happy with his hair?
My
Calling
hair's
Greg
so
Live.
stupid bullshit.
Tim, you wanted it to do that. It's long enough now that it does that.
Yeah, I don't want one little thing.
Yeah,
doing
it's
it.
one little thing.
No, I don't want.
That's
one
how it
little
starts.
thing. You have
Let
the
me see it.
hell of things.
Let me see it.
Yeah, but eventually, like if I had,
did it happen?
No.
That was an
sometimes it
awesome
goes down
thing
to
to
one
GIF
thing.
if you're
Is
at
that-
home and you want to make a
Okay,
cool
it's
GIF
like
for
this.
us.
Yeah, it looks good.
Dude, that's
cool.
fine.
It's like,
Let
No,
it
it's
go.
not. Especially when I don't have this. It doesn't work.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't work.
You know
I
what you
wish
should
I
do?
had cool hair.
Take your shirt off.
You do have cool hair.
No one will notice.
You want to go shirt
Nah, it's
skins?
cool.
Oh my god!
When you do the
Shirt
I love
skins?
your hair right now, great.
Hey, guys.
And then when you do that thing where you do the rock out and it goes, boom, boom,
Isn't it
that's
amazing?
awesome. That's
Nick.
awesome.
It's fucking magical.
Let's
Your
do
hair
shirt
is
skins
awesome.
right now.
What's that?
Shirt skins.
No, we're not
Shirt
doing
skins.
that. No, we're not doing
Taking
that.
off our shirts.
No.
Let's battle.
There's enough shirt taking off of in this house. I've seen enough pasty white flesh.
I love this guy.
With patch. No, Greg, don't. I don't need it.
I'm not on
All
Twitch
right.
anymore. I can do whatever I want.
I love
okay.
that Portillo has not taken his eyes off Matt. Like he just doesn't trust him. He's like this guy.
I think he loves Matt. He probably smells your dogs.
I haven't been around my boys in a while. Couple days.
So before we transition out of this topic about you and what you do, what do you want to pimp? How do people hire you? What are these podcasts you're working on? What do you want people to do? Where can they support you? God damn it!
I mean, well, it depends because I don't. You can definitely pay attention out there for this new series podcast we're talking to. I have a really good friend of mine that moved back from Louisiana. He's an actor. We went to grad school together, and so we and Nick's helped me develop this a little bit. So we're trying to come. We're
Cheating on you too.
out of thing. I mean, I'm paying him. He's not getting paid for that. We're trying to figure out a show for 40-year-old plus people who don't game anymore and have responsibilities and have been divorced and have kids, but still want to live that lifestyle in LA. And we're calling it Midlife Ballers. So
That's a great title.
thanks to Nick Scarpino on that one. And Twitter's already out, so I do have
What is it?
Midlife Baller at Midlife Ballers.
Yeah, Midlife Ballers, right.
And the website will be built. And so we're probably going to start doing some episodes in February. He literally his name is Jason Buke. He's on Twitter also at Jason Buke. And because I set it up for him. But he just moved back out and he's working at a bar in North Hollywood and he has a 24-year-old nurse girlfirl and chaos ensues.
20-year-old kid. It's not.
And no, she's not 20. His
joking.
daughter's adorable. She is not 20.
I'm just. You guys are old.
Regardless,
That's what I was
we're
wondering.
old,
That's
and
what I
we've
was
talked a
pushing for.
lot, and we've done everything together in grad school. We went to Russia on an exchange program. We went to school. So we have a lot of life in between, and I've learned from the best. So I'm definitely going. Everybody smile. And it's not about for us. It's not. It's going to be like kind of seeking the truth a little bit. Like not. If it makes money, it makes money. Whatever. We're just. I've kind of said I need something like you guys. I need an outlet. So I'm really just kind of using what you did and where you came from, which is for me, again, going into Greg's topic eventually, like when the older brother can learn from the younger brother, I think is that's the moment. You know what I mean? Because then we go back and forth. Before it was, if you touch my brother, I'm going to fucking cut your leg off.
Right.
And then he became a black belt and he kicked my ass and I was like, cool. Now I'm going to get in bar fights because I want him to fight people and it's badass.
Don't let that happen.
I know. I wish you would feel still. I wish you were still meaty because you could still, when you used to swing that fucking leg, it was hot.
I get a fucking
Back
heart attack.
fucking
We're both going to
boom.
have heart attacks.
No, not anymore. But anyway, so Midlife Ballers. So I don't know. I mean, there's like so much stuff in LA that like nightlife. And trying to figure out, what does it mean? What's the next step for us?
It's podcasting.
I've made some. Well, it's podcasting to turn into something socially, like not
so
to
many
be
people
rock
I talk
stars.
to. No, so many people I talk to, like they do podcasts not to get famous, not to make money, but because it is a standing date with their friend. It's
That's what I want.
We're treating it like a thing, so we want. This is like. It's penciled in hangout time that doesn't feel like we're wasting time.
You guys are really lucky. Like I pay for my office space. We have an 18,000 square foot facility in Orange County.
It's fucking cool.
It's
as
awesome.
Shit.
Chris Torno and Phoenix Productions, Phoenix Creative Group actually, is kind enough to let us use what we're calling the Pod Loft, 1,500 square foot. Used to be an attic space like storage, and now we're shooting a couple podcast series there that I'm producing too. WheelieCoolVideos.com. I'm helping Stu with that.
Wheelie Cool
WHELE.
It's about cars.
EELIE. Yeah. Stuart Bias is amazing, and his.
If you ever heard of Nick's buddy Stu,
That's my buddy
that
Stu.
is Stu.
it's him.
So, but yeah,
And he's
That's my buddy
already
Stu.
up. We shot about 8 or 10 episodes in the can, and he actually went to Dubai and like raced cars and went to the Ferrari Museum and he shot all this footage and he's super excited and he's doing great and I'm really proud of him. And so we just said, I'll help you. I'll buy all this equipment. I'll start you off. And we did. And then I went, why am I not doing my own podcast? Do you know what I mean? Like where we can just do some stuff. But you're right though, because as you get older, like I'm buying another house. I bought a house last year. I'm selling. I'm buying another house. Like I got real shit to do. I got a lot of a lot of bills, a lot of taxes. And Jason and I are talking like we have friends that go, I can't. I have kids, and I'm like, why can't you? Why can't we go out and
kids
drink? I mean, I don't have
do
kids.
suck.
My wife and I chose never to have kids on purpose, and we have we're
I feel like-
we're dog parents. We
I feel
have
like
two
both of our
puppies.
wives have us, like you and me,
Yeah.
to deal with. That's pretty much kid enough.
Well,
enough?
yeah. Oh, God bless Carrie. My wife. She's got a lot to deal with. But I tried to reciprocate it, support her as much as possible. So, but anyways, yeah. So this is great. Like we're gonna. He works out. We might do some gym workout videos. I'm not sure. Like there's shit that we're gonna do that should be really funny because I don't go to the gym anymore. So that'll be great. Anyways, thank you.
No, you're welcome. I just want to make sure you get everything you can.
Yeah, just
All
keep
the
an eye
juice
out
you
for.
can get out of this.
I'll tweet around the world because most of my followers
Scarpino
are
Man.
yours. It's at Scarpino Man. Yeah, we'll
a really good.
I'll
Twitter
let
handle.
everybody know. So hopefully by
is a good
Kind of Funny
handle.
Live too, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
some
have a
shit
couple
going?
shows on the boards.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
Thanks.
Great. Well, this show is brought to you by Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for the epic geek and gamer items and pulp culture gear. For less than $20 a month, you get 4 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles. I feel like I'm leaving syllables out.
you are.
Is the whiskey kicking anything?
Yeah, might be.
Apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. Make sure you head to lootcrate.com/kindoffunny and enter the offer code kindoffunny to save $3 on any new subscription. Loot Crate is more than just a subscription service. It's an elite community of fans that share their experience and interact with each other around the unboxing of each month's crate. And they guarantee you $40, more than $40 in value, actually, in every crate. Sometimes even a lot more. Every month is different. It has a theme, and all the items are curated around that theme. For February, we've branded The Dangers of Alexandria. Ooh, nice. It's going to be Walking Dead. Now I'm excited. They brave the dangers of Alexandria and bribe some mercs with chimichangas to bring you the finest loot this side of the afterlife. It's always
Dead
exciting.
things. So
It's-
Deadpool.
Chimichanga.
it's always
Walking
exciting
Dead.
when we get a new one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We love Loot Crate. They're great to us. They support us all the time, but usually you get used to getting a rhythm and then here's a brand new copy. This month's theme is dead and reaches across genres to bring you 5 exclusives, including a t-shirt and 2 figures to celebrate the new episodes of The Walking Dead and Deadpool's solo film debut. I'm calling this box. I want everything in this box. I get first dibs. Y'all had your Star Wars.
Fair.
Is that how you guys do it? I've always wondered that. You guys get to keep all that
Well, it all
stuff?
comes to my house and I just open it. Oh crap! Do we already have it? Is that no?
Yeah.
That's this one's great though, right? That's
That's the X-Files one.
okay. Remember,
What's happening?
you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, Jack, that's it. It's over. So go to lootcrate.com/kindafunny and enter the offer code kindafunny to save $10 on your new subscription today. That's an exciting crate.
It is.
I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I know it's stupid now to say this, and I don't mean to be a hipster about it, but it's always hard for me to believe how successful Walking Dead has become. Because I remember in college getting those trades handed me by Bob and him saying, you'd probably like this, and reading and falling in love.
Yeah.
And you never thought of that time.
Dude, it took me years. I'm now a fucking full-on believer with this shit. I credit you. I credit you entirely.
Thank
I
you.
have to.
Thank you.
Now, the thing is, though, my boy Tone Deaf, years ago,
Fuck
he's been
Tone
reading
Deaf.
since the very beginning.
He's a faker. He's a
And
hipster.
he's one of those dudes that I was like, I trust him. I believe this is good. But I was like, I'm not gonna. It's too much.
Sure,
It's too
sure,
much.
sure.
It's too much. So I never got into it. And then years passed. A lot of people talking about Nick got into the show. When you got into the show and started talking about it, I was like, man, maybe this is something worth something.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Walking Dead, and I know we've talked about this ad nauseum, but is that it's just a different way of telling a story, and it's not traditional
Slow burn.
monster of the week. Hey, we're gonna tell you, like everything's gonna be okay every third episode. We know it's gonna be okay, right? This is just sort of a what's that?
It's the opposite.
No, it's quite the opposite, and it takes some getting used to, similar to how. Dynamic wise, how Game of Thrones was completely new, where you're like, oh, I get this kind of flow. Oh shit, what the fuck? Like, why is that guy not have a head anymore? He was the main character. What's going on with this show? And that's exciting, but it is hard to get into at first because you're like, this is different than what I'm normally used to. And no matter, I don't know not a lot of people like change. I don't do well with change. So, which is funny because especially with our storytelling and especially with mainstream media and where it's at right now, we need change and we need to adopt it quicker than we are at this point. But it's hard when you've watched TV and you're used to kind of getting fed that kind of programming for 20 years to see something like Walking Dead come around and not have a gut reaction to it of like, this is, I don't get the pacing of this. I don't get the storytelling of this. I'm done with it. So when I came back to it eventually on Netflix, it was actually when it came to Netflix that I got really back into it. And I was a little disappointed that I hadn't read the trades at that point because it's good.
That was your bonus Walking Dead topic.
Yeah.
Tied into a Loot
Before we
Crate
even move
engraving.
on from that, I just want to say I'm really excited that for the first time ever in 2 weeks, I'm going to get to watch it with everybody.
Oh,
Do you want to hang out at my
When it
house
comes
and watch
back.
with me?
Hell yeah, let's do
All right,
it.
good. Cool.
Let's do that for sure. And then
I'd fist pound you,
Talk.
but I have a dog.
it's all good.
All right. So now it's my topic.
You can grab him.
My topic has come, and it's brothers. I have no brothers. Everyone in this room has brothers.
It's unfortunate.
We have two brothers. Why is it unfortunate?
Brothers are awesome. I think that siblings are very important just overall, but specifically if you're in the same like kind of age group. And now, I guess that's not even true because I've seen it happen with new people that I've met where the age range is a little different, but I think that it's someone to look up to and someone to be responsible for.
Look out for.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not even so much a direct A to B thing of that. Cause it's not like what you were saying about learning from the other person. Like that's been true for me since moment one. Now my brother, you guys have heard stories about him. He's all over the place.
He's juiced.
He's juiced about a lot of things. And it's me and him could not be more different in so many different ways. But then at the core of it though, we're so similar. Like so similar. And I think that's what brothers are. That's what siblings are. Let's not even talk about sisters because like we don't have sisters. None of us have sisters.
Kevin has sisters.
Kevin has sisters, unfortunately.
Are they hot?
Whoa.
I asked that same question.
Any
The
chance
way
we get to
Kevin
hate on
described
Kevin?
them is they look like him.
They are hot, Kevin? Oh, you're such a great big brother that no, he's giving this.
They're older sisters. Yeah, Kevin has two older sisters and one younger brother. And I grew up with his older sister. So in some ways I had older sisters, but it was loose.
Surrogate.
Yeah, and then his little brother came way later to the point of like, I don't know, we fuck with him, but like he's not, it's different. You know what I mean? It's just different. But now Kevin has to be responsible for him. And I see him looking out for him all the time. And it's that type of responsibility of even when he's out of it, even when Kevin's moved on with his life. How young is Spencer? Like compared to you? How many? 10 years younger. 10 years is a lot of years.
Wait, how old are you?
I can remember.
He's 20. Yeah, 25.
You
So
have a 15-year-old brother?
Yeah.
yeah.
Whoa, his we balls are just dropping.
And I mean, and we
Have you
saw
talked
that
to him
happen.
about sex
I
and
got
things?
stories to tell you later.
Does
Yeah,
he have sex?
He's
He's experimenting?
he's got a girlfriend for the
Okay,
first
all right.
Oh, it's so great. So I always love hearing this because I hear these
Getting his
stories.
toes wet.
I hear stories from Kevin of just like them walking in on him, and he has like websites on his computer he shouldn't have open, stuff like that. It's
Come
just
on,
so,
he's a dude.
I know. Well, yeah, but it's just so funny that it's like, oh my god, that's a thing. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is
you've
that
forgotten
age, like,
about it, right?
That is like
I mean,
a
isn't-
weird taboo thing. But like,
That age where all of his socks are just like you can hold them up and they're just straight.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what the fuck is happening with this thing?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I know exactly what I mean.
You mean the-
Dude,
you
when
mean
you're,
the
when you're a
hotel
young
special.
boy,
That's what it is.
You'll put your dick in anything. You will. Just to see what it's like. Dude, because you're like, I'm fucking 11, I'm 12, I don't have any outlet for this. No one's talking to me about it because it's supposed to be shameful. Like, maybe there's a sex ed class, but now they have the internet, which is great.
that's the thing. Everyone's talking about it now. It's
Now,
like I can only
yes.
imagine, like with his brother, like he probably knows exactly how to do everything safely and everything. It's like it's almost as if he could just go on YouTube.com/kindoffunny and look at a show called Love and Sex Stuff and figure out how to do everything involved.
Yeah, but then you'd have to know like when those episodes post. Like what time of day and
I don't
what-
know. It'd
like
be
Mondays at
really
9 a.m.?
convenient if it was Monday at 9.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
AM
What
Pacific
if
time?
what are the
Cololo.
questions for that show, Tim?
They can go to kindoffunny.com/love and sex and fill out the form if
There
they
you
have
go.
questions that people should answer. Professionals.
Send the email.
Anyways, back to it. It's interesting seeing Kevin and his brother's relationship, but beyond that, me and my brother and Kevin grew up as brothers, and brothers are a good thing. Family matters and all that stuff, and they teach you that, and that's what you kind of grow up knowing. So Ninja Turtles was like a key thing for me completely, and it's like they're brothers and they're fucking awesome and they love each other and all that shit. We were Ninja Turtles together. We're like, oh shit, we're this unit. And even though we were all very different and whatever, we grew up together. And so my brother's 2.5 years younger than me. And we just grew up like that. So from the ages of whatever, like 4, I was 4, he was 3, Kevin was 3, and then my brother was like 2. From then onward until I was about 12, we just grew up literally together. We were
Right,
inseparable. That was just how that shit went. Then after that, it's that puberty time. Everyone kind of grows
You're
up,
popping boners left and
starts
right.
doing different things. You start meeting different people, like friends, girls, all this shit, right? And you know that your family when that comes back. We all went our different ways and all went in drastically different directions. There we are. We're adorable. Put that picture up, please.
Wait, which one's Tim?
The left one.
You're all wearing green too. You do look
We're all
like
wearing
Ninja
Ninja Turtle
Yeah.
pajamas.
That's funny.
What is
They're
that,
matching.
like camouflage? No. Oh, just like they're
It's
ninja.
Ninja Turtle faces. But anyway,
Who's the apparition behind you?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Who's haunting you?
My sister.
Yeah.
There you go.
She looks cute.
And, anyways, but what's interesting is now seeing how it
I'm
all
sorry.
grew up.
Was that red?
And me and Kevin have been so close for so long that like I see him literally every day. I don't see my brother that much anymore. It's because he went on a totally different path. But it's interesting to look back and see how me and Kevin interact with my brother, where he made a lot of choices in his life that kind of brought him down a path of where there's a lot of hardships in front of him, and it's been difficult. He made bad choices, and bad choices on top of each other, it snowballs. And then it gets to a point when you're like, well, shit, I want to fix this and I want to change this, that it's really hard to fix and change those things. Whereas I feel like me and Kevin are on the other side of that, where luckily we made the right decisions and we just kind of snowballed up. And that kind of creates an even bigger divide, right?
Yeah.
Snowballs can go up.
Really don't think they can, but okay.
Yeah, they can.
You got to push them up.
I would
I
push
said
my
it's a
fell on
weird
that,
thing.
yeah.
Snowballs up.
It's definitely a weird thing.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It happened. And so we're doing this thing, and that creates an even bigger divide between us and my brother, But then it's like, then we hang out and we see each other, and it's just like there's that underlying moment of, holy shit, he's still the person that we love, and we're still the person that he loves. And he'll say something stupid, and we're just like, I love you. Like, that still makes us laugh, whatever.
Yeah.
We say something, he's like, I fucking love you. It's just like, we're there for each other. And I think that's the thing about brothers. It sounds so stupid and obvious, but it's like,
not.
no matter what happens, no matter how much dumb bullshit my brother does, and oh Lord, Nick knows. Nick's been there for me through like the
I've seen some
dumbest things my brother has done.
Yeah.
And just because you just had to hear about it.
No, but
you know?
and that's the thing with your brother too. Is I spent some time with him lately. Like lately, I think it's been great. He's been coming out when we go out to have drinks. He's been joining us, and he's coming out of his shell a little bit. But I feel like you are, he's young. He's a young guy, and I think that being around us is really, really good. But it's true. It's a different dynamic than when you have friends, because you just don't ever think that person's not going to be in your life.
Yeah.
Whereas I've had friends that have come and go, and that's just kind of the nature of dynamics. Like I have a ton of friends still in Orange County that I talk to maybe twice a year, and I don't mean to, but that's just the way. That's the way it goes, because we're in different parts of the state from each other, and we have different lives now. A lot of my friends have kids. A lot of them have jobs that they really love and they want to put a lot of effort into that. But with Matt, I think you are. I mean, this is a perfect example of it, right? So a lot of my other friends, it makes me sad that I'm not still I don't have a personal relationship with them, but not to the point where I'm actually motivated to call them, right? And that's a dickhead thing to say, but that's just the way it is. It's like I'm super busy and I have to prioritize my life, and unfortunately, keeping up all of the friendships I have on Facebook in real life is just not a thing that's going to happen. But when I moved up here, and we had there was a period where Matt and I, my brother and I, had not drifted, but our lives were just sort of going on different courses for a bit. You were married and then you got divorced and then you met the love of your life and you decided to marry her. And that was all happening at the same time that I moved up here. And so there was a physical space, but there was also a little bit of an emotional space between us just because there were big things happening in our lives that we had to focus on. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but never in that time did I ever think I'm not going to have a personal relationship with my brother. That just wasn't even going to happen. And there were times when I would think that and I would be like, I got to call him. And it still happens today. Even like lately, I don't think there's been a week that's gone by.
Yeah, now it's cool as fuck.
Where I'm just like, because I feel like there was an awkwardness. So first you gave me some space when I moved up here, but then eventually I was like, no, just text me or call me whenever you want. And,
well, I mean,
again, that doesn't mean 7:30 in the morning, Matt. I'm still gonna throw that out there.
Stop.
I know you wake up early for your jobs,
That's
but I don't
not
have
true
a real
at all.
life.
It's not true at all.
This is not a real job. I can come here at 10:30.
When you started working,
That is 100%
He
true.
texts me at like 8 o'clock in the morning. He's like, so you're probably not up, but I need all this information, this, and this. And I'm like, that first part of the sentence. Let's keep that in the back of your mind all the time. Definitely not.
just because I sit at a computer earlier than you, I expect 2 days. That's my callback. If you email me, I'll get back to you in 2 days.
Talking back every day.
No, I'm talking about email and text. Like you showed me your phone one Christmas when you were working for IGN. And I was like, no fucking way. I mean, he's going to see my email and text and that bullshit. He had like 2,000 inbox emails. And I was like, well, that's fucking crazy.
To be
I get
fair,
like 10.
that's because Nick doesn't look at any email ever.
No. But at the same time, though,
No, I do look at text though, and last night I was on a text thread with 4 people. Like
That's a lot
not
of
one
texts.
thread, 4 different
threads,
texts
yeah.
happening. There was someone's birthday. Someone was pitching us on a gig. I was going back and forth with him. I think my wife was texting me from the next room because she preferred that form of communication versus
Rather
verbal.
than speaking to you.
Well, because the problem with speaking, and Matt will attest to this, is when my wife starts talking to me, I take that as a physical cue that I need to go touch her. And she does not like that. So sometimes she will text me, "Hey, can you bring me some water? Put the water by the bed. Do
Knock
not
on the door and
disturb
walk
me."
away.
Yes, walk backward into the room. Don't look at me and don't smell me.
Why is your wife like Hannibal Lecter? It's so
You
weird.
can ask her that tonight when we have
She's
dinner
like,
with her.
the lambs.
What time's your dinner?
Clarice.
No, I don't know. It's not.
We
It's,
haven't-
not-
I just wanna make sure
we
I
haven't
don't-
said
I
it
don't
because
wanna-
work comes first, Greg. Work comes first.
it's true.
I wish some of this work ethic rubbed off on this guy over here.
I'm telling you right
No,
now,
but
if you want me to fucking punch him up a little bit.
Not jokingly, all of my work ethic came from this guy, and that's what you talk about when you talk about brothers. Is that when you grow up with siblings, obviously there's pros and cons with it, but one of the things that can work out very, very well is that you take on the best parts of the other person and vice
What you
versa, and you
admire
make
in
each
them.
other better.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, honestly, like, and this is getting really sappy and stupid, but it's like that what you learn from that brothership and stuff, like you kind of then adapt to other people.
Friends.
So it's like,
Yeah.
but even it's not even just friends. It's like when I met you and like I saw you as somebody that I'm like, oh fuck, like I look up to you and I want to learn from you. And it's like then when I knew you guys had the brothers and shit. This motherfucker at Comic-Con, I respected you. When at the moment I met you, I'm like, oh fuck, like I need to impress you. And you're asking me to do all this fucking physical labor and you're like, hey, set up this light, do this shit. I didn't know how to do any of that. I didn't know anything, and I hate physical fucking labor. That's what this guy's for.
like the sweat.
Like I have Kevin do all that shit for me, but he wasn't there. He wasn't there for me. But I was like, fuck, I have to do this. And it's like, I push myself. And it's like, I would push myself because I want to impress you because I see you as an older brother, which makes you the older brother.
That's
you
true.
know?
I'm like a grandbrother.
Yes.
I respected you once you did that video where you threw the sheet up and
Oh,
then
it's so
disappeared.
good.
out of
Oh,
the
yeah.
set.
So
that was
fucking
one. This
good.
guy knows things. I can learn from
That was
him.
an amazing video.
So-
Do you still have that, Kevin?
I have it. I'm
Okay,
going to put it
good.
up.
Someone's
on
got
Vine.
that video. Someone's got that video for sure. So I guess my question is like, 'cause, we've talked about it here and there on the show, right? But like, I'm an only child. Yeah, parents got split up. This, that, and the other. And like when I was growing up, my parents didn't have relationships with their siblings that had children. So my family's incredibly fractured. You know what I mean? Into the point of where it's like, I can't. How often do you guys? How often do you talk to Greg?
Oh,
And how-
so you saying that that spurred something that Nick was saying about like calling him all the time,
Yeah.
or whatever. For me, and this goes back to our friendship topic. Like to me, a friend is someone when something good happens to me or bad, but usually good. when something happens, who's the first people I want to tell? Like, who do I call? Who do I whatever? And my brother will always, and my mom too, but my brother will always be like top three people that I just immediately tell them. Now, the funny thing about my brother is he doesn't have a phone. Because of his situations here and there, it's like he'll have a phone for a month at a time and it goes away, and then
So you take masking
different
tape and
numbers
put
and
it
all
on
that
the
shit.
window.
Can I ask, is he in witness relocation?
He's in a whole bunch of shit. It's like
Okay, I just
it can get difficult sometimes.
No,
but,
I don't need to know. I'm just.
But my brother's the type of dude where like I want him to know so bad that I will drive to him.
Oh, wow.
Drive to his house to like tell him whatever just happened to me. No, but I mean like even if it's
Can he walk?
No. It's like
You can't walk.
it's
You
a
have to-
drive.
That doesn't even factor in. Tim doesn't walk.
Yeah, no,
He doesn't like
fucking
physical
kidding
exertion.
Do you wear those
No.
spicy shoes like you did at the strike of Kind of Funny Live, where you were like, "Yeah, I think I wore the wrong shoes to carry this stuff."
Oh, I mean that's always.
Yeah, don't
that's
worry.
my life. Again, I still respect you, and I'll still do whatever.
No, that's
you tell
fine.
me
That
to.
just means that you're
But
going to be
Colin
like
Funny
the
Live,
Brad
Kevin
Pitt
was
of the
there.
internet. Didn't I call you the
So-
Brad Pitt of the internet?
You did.
Yeah.
And I'll take it.
Is the Brad?
But anyway,
He's
going
the
back
Brad
to it, it's
Pitt
like,
of the
how
internet.
often do we talk? Not enough. It's never enough. I think that's really the answer.
No, you'll never get enough time with your
yeah.
siblings.
But now
ever.
that my brother's on Instagram now, and that's a way that he can constantly talk to me.
Oh,
He
that's
doesn't
good.
really use it too much he uses it to message.
Yeah, he doesn't
people.
have any photos up.
But that's the whole story. But anyways, he'll DM me all the time, and it's like that's how we kind of converse, and it's fucking great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys, you going through all this different stuff. I mean, what was there that traditional period of hating each other?
Yeah, oh
Like,
yeah.
No,
There-
I would think that was younger though.
That was
when we were
way younger, yeah. So when I was from
It's like
probably
fucking-
0 to about 13 or 14, Matt
No way.
just fucked me up. Just
No.
abused the shit
I
out
would
of me.
say 0 to like maybe 8 to 10. Because by the time you were 13 and 14, think about that. You were in high school.
By the
and
time I
was
got into
already
junior
throwing the
high,
parties
yeah.
where the
So
older
that was
ladies were
13.
like, "Your
No.
brother's amazing. I want to fuck him."
It was
Like,
probably junior high.
Like he's 10 years old.
was when we
pedophile.
started to bond. I
No,
think
he
it
was like a
really when I
teenager,
could
but
drive a
he
car
did his thing.
and pick you up from parties. I think that's when you started, because you were like this.
never
I still wanna
did you
drink,
pick me up with party.
You're
You
like, I
never
still
came
wanna
to a fucking
drink,
party.
but I don't want to get another DUI because I'm like
He never got
I'm
a
like
DUI technically.
2 for 2 right now.
Legally, I'm clean.
So no, but I think that like, you know, it's like it's anything like those formative years, those years from like, you know, when you're 10 to like 20 are the years you change probably the most in your life. I mean, you're going through literally different changes of venues with schools, different changes of your body, different changes of like your lifestyle of like going from even just like I have a skateboard now I have and a bike to I have a motor vehicle that I can get across town with.
And I mean,
right?
even just the amount of money you have, it goes from
Yeah,
like
I
I'm
can
eating
book
a
a job
hot dog
now.
at 7-Eleven to I'm going to Olive Garden.
right.
I mean, I won't
and
say
Olive Garden being-
Spaghetti Factory, but Olive Garden.
See, I love Spaghetti
I
Factory.
would have
We
gone
talked about
spag.
that the other day.
Spag. Well, I'm
don't
not
have
going to
that.
say what
Don't
we
call
called
it
it.
what we know. That's
We used to call it in Riverside. I can't say that term because currently I don't want to get
Tim
into
knows
those
it.
conversations
No,
that you
but
had the other
it's
day
hilarious.
about the word that starts with
All
an
right,
R
all right.
and the other word. I don't believe in any of those words either.
anyway. So we
Now I'm lost on what you would
Like, what's
possibly
even
call that.
happening?
it's not. We'll tell you. I'll tell you guys
Spaghetti
offline.
Factory.
Oh,
We'll talk. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad, but I don't want your listeners to go, "Oh, he's homophobic," and now I have to justify using any terms that may. I'm in theater, so legally, I have
no,
a
it's one of those.
license.
No. You're,
Stop.
No, I don't. And I don't
You
mean
know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
This is what I always talk about. This goes back to when growing up in high school. Yeah, everything I don't like is gay. And then you're eventually like that. Somebody's like, "That's a bad," and they explain it. You're like, "All right, I'm a complete asshole." I'll
No,
stop
and I've
doing
heard
it."
you say that, and you're absolutely. I mean, that's you. That's your thing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I
To be
can't-
fair, we used to call it that back in the day when we were idiots.
well,
but
yeah.
Everyone who's young is an idiot. There's
true.
nothing to be ashamed of. Grow out of it. It's the kids who are like 30 and still doing. You're like, hold on a second.
or 40.
I don't use
I'm
the term.
I'm joking. I'm
mainly
joking with you.
because
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Moo Moo.
Hannah won't go for that.
Hannah's fine with it. It's all the other guys. They keep going.
So there was a period in our lives where we didn't get along very well. But then I think around 16, when I could drive, when I was old enough to kind of be interesting, we bonded. And there was like literally, I think over the span of 6 months, I was like, oh, we're like really good friends now. Like we're best friends. That's weird.
And we lived together.
And then we lived together. And that was
Like
a whole
outside of
lot
the
faster.
parents' house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
we-
an apartment together.
When I went to school, when I went to college, he was in his grad studies, and
Same
we
school?
lived. No,
No, he went to
different
UC
schools.
Irvine, where the rich kids go, and I went to a state institution.
State.
I went to Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, great
I'm
school.
a Titan. Tuffy the Titan.
Really
It's
good
an
looking
elephant.
people go to that school.
Anyways, you
keep
live
going.
together.
Yeah, keep going.
So we lived together, and that was another.
Yeah.
That was actually more. That was probably more trying on our relationship than anything else. Simply because, not from Matt's
because you're a
perspective,
fucking pig.
Matt's really clean.
Because you're fucking slimy. I mean, I came home one night and there was a block of dead Munster cheese on the counter with like
It was
a
Gouda.
jar,
It was smoked Gouda.
a fucking jar of. What were those? What did you used to put on sandwich? You used to make
They're capers.
capers,
Yeah.
Munster or fucking Gouda wheat sandwiches, and I was like, "Who the fuck are? Why did you leave a fucking thing?"
What had happened was I was hella into Gouda cheese back then. I don't know why.
Because Gouda cheese is delicious.
It's really good. It was a smoked Gouda, so that should.
Oh
you
my
know,
God, you're kidding me?
Yeah,
you got
that
a
was the
fucking
bomb.
meal going on.
And Costco still sells them to this day. They sell these like little wheels of Gouda cheese where I would just slice off like thin slices of it, and slowly but surely. This is again during Nick's big period. I would slowly but surely try to get as close to that the butcher shave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know
that
what
you
you're
could
talking
possibly get with a knife, and then eat it like systematically, like it was my latest victim.
That was
when I
the apartment we
Hannibal Lecter.
lived in, Tim. Just to clarify that the plumbing wasn't that good, and
This reminded me of that story you told me.
that same
I don't know the
Capistrano
story.
gig, the same Capistrano gig we did. One of my guys that he's still alive somewhere in St. Louis. He's like,
Shout out to the STL.
Did you ever
Tack
have
track, find 'em.
Did you ever have a shit that was so dense? You had to it won't flush. You just do this. And then I was like,
For those of you listening at home, he just moved his arm around.
yeah, for
in a
those of you
circular
listening, I
motion.
just made like it won't go down the bowl. And so he'd be like, yeah, you got to get like a hanger and you bend it and then you got to stab it and break it in half so it'll go down. And we're dying. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cut a year later when we finally lived together in this apartment in Garden Grove. I'm in my bed and my door is like where this door is.
Where the camera is.
Where the camera is, at camera. And then Nick's was just right behind camera. So I would hear the rumbling in bed. I'll talk to the audience at this point. Door would open. I see him muppet into the bathroom because he was a little bigger, so he would muppet. And I heard the door shut, and I heard whatever horror, the horror, and then he would flush, and then he would flush, and then he would flush. Then I heard the door open back, and I'd look, and he'd muppet into his closet. Then I heard clothes moving, and as he walked by the frame again, he was fashioning a hanger, and he went into the bathroom, and I was like, "There's no fucking way he's gonna stab that turd right now." with a fucking hanger. Now, I never mentioned I saw that, and then skip ahead a week. I went to the bath because I used to like to shit in his bathroom because I'd clean mine. I'm not going to shit in mine. I'm going to shit in him so he's gone. So I was shitting his, and he'd be like, "What is going on in here?" And I'm like, "I do not know. This Garden Grove apartment is horrible." By the way, I don't use my bathroom because I have the toilet bowl thing. But anyway, so I would go in there, and I was sitting there one day, and I look in the trash can like IKEA white, that fucking mesh trash can. Mesh. It's not even solid. So I had to deconstruct the crime zone. I had to
You're Batman detective.
I'm like, wait a minute. There's two rusty hangers in a rusty black trash can from IKEA. How many fucking shits has he broken off in this toilet? I mean, it's like, oh my God, it's brilliant. But I mean, like that idea, like that's the thing.
So
I mean,
for future clarification, when people ask for the most embarrassing Nick story,
I think that might
that's
be
probably
it.
the
Maybe that
one.
one's the one that.
Yeah, that's the one because that is unfortunately 100% true.
That's awesome.
And that was,
Yeah,
that was during when you're a bigger boy, you're pushing in some food, and it's got to go somewhere.
You're at least
And
going to the
sometimes
bathroom like 5 times a day.
if you don't, you live a busy lifestyle, I have to work. That would get compacted in there, and
you gotta
I
drink
don't
enough
have a
water.
good diet. I'm not getting a lot of roughage. This
Yeah,
is
drinking
mostly
water.
like whatever I can eat at the restaurant I was working at the time, and then go to Del Taco, which also happened to be like in the block of the area that we lived in. So I would get out, and man, those would be monsters. Those things would be like fucking dragons that I would have to slay, and it was disgusting. But to be fair, I would shit in your bathroom too when you weren't there.
Oh, you fucking did.
Yeah, always, because you had the better bathroom. It was a better
Oh, so
setup.
good. It was like the master suite.
But the
bathroom,
cheese
yeah.
was at the old apartment, not that apartment. You're
I thought
remembering
the
that
cheese.
incorrectly.
No,
No, the
'cause
cheese was
remember
the
when you-
1-bedroom apartment
Hold
we
on,
lived
stop.
in.
Remember
where
when
I
it was
split the
New
living
Year's
room and
Eve,
you lived in the bedroom?
You worked in New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
and you got sick. You ate something that was sick.
That was different. That wasn't the cheese. The cheese was literally, I had bought this brand new thing of cheese, and I left it on the because I was like walking back and forth. This was my weight loss plan. I was just gonna put the cheese in the kitchen, so that I had to get up. I had to get up to cut a piece off and then go back in. So I'm thinking eventually I would lose the will to keep getting back
course.
up.
that
and go
never
back
happened.
in.
That never
But
happened.
smoke Gouda will claim any man.
Exactly. And you know what else it does? It makes you sleepy. So I fell asleep, and my brother and I got up in the morning, and I never eat breakfast at home. I still don't eat breakfast at home. I think it's stupid to make breakfast for yourself when Starbucks is right there. So I would get up in the morning and just get in the car and go to wherever I was. And I come home, and my brother's like, does the cheese get better the longer it stays out? And I'm like, what the fuck? It was like, but it had hilariously, like, because it was hot. We never turned the air conditioning on. We had those like big
counter.
units.
It stuck
It
to the
like kind of
counter.
melted a little bit
to the counter.
and then
it's like,
just stayed.
No, but it literally
But I was like,
looked
I'll eat
like
it. I got it.
it
And
looked
just
like
kinda
he was
crushed it.
like fire in the sky. Like he was cutting a piece of cheese, and then he was like, "Oh, fuck!" DB Sweeney style, like out, he's gone. So I was like, "Is Nick even in this fucking room?" And I could have
He's
swore
abducted cutting cheese.
I couldn't. I don't know. Wasn't New Year's Eve the time you got sick?
New
and
Year's Eve was the
shit
time
and threw up at the same
when
time.
I had to work. I was working
Because
two,
I thought
two
the,
jobs
I
at
thought
two
the
different
cheese
restaurants
was
at
on the
time.
counter. That's why you left.
No,
because
this
you shit and threw up at
this
the
is a
same
different
time.
story. I
No, I'm serious. It was horrible. Like he
I-
sat down to go to the bathroom and figured out, oh my god, I have diarrhea and I have to throw up at the same time.
I got food poisoning.
Yeah, he had food poisoning.
What had happened
Legitimately
was
food poisoning.
I was working at a restaurant till late New Year's Eve. And I didn't realize that and I didn't shop for myself, so I did the same thing everyone does in their like early 20s. You're like, you go out to eat every freaking meal at a fast
Yeah.
food. And I had no food in the house, and I was starving, and I couldn't find any place that was open because it didn't occur to me that New Year's Eve, and maybe it was New Year's, everything was closed.
It's like New Year's Day or something.
Yeah, whatever it was. And all I had was some old wheat bread, some mayonnaise that I wasn't sure how old it was, some cheese that I wasn't sure how old it was, and capers.
Okay,
So
maybe
I
that's
made-
that's
So
the
I made
capers.
myself a cheese caper
mayonnaise. Who the fuck eats?
sandwich because that's all I had. I was hungry. I was like,
I
but
know,
you know when you do that, sometimes you're like, I just want a snack. I'm just gonna combine whatever I have in there and like try to make it work. And it was, to be fair, up until the point where I started shitting out of every orifice, pretty good. But I was like, I don't feel so. Oh God! And I ran to the bathroom. And I dropped my pants. Thank God I got them off in time. Sat down and was like, what the fuck is this strange sensation? Because it was like the energy was coming from my chest and just just pulsing out everywhere. And I pulled the shower curtain back and just threw up into the shower
While you
as
were
I started spackling the fucking
You were
bowl.
fucking blowing mud. That was
Just
so
blowing-
the bowl.
Just
Blowing mud is better.
dude. And he's
Yeah.
like, you not believe what
And
happened to me?
no,
Like, what happened?
No, I'm pretty sure you came home because it happened all night. It was not like that was.
No,
the
that's
first
what
time.
I'm saying. That's
And
why
I'm
I
pretty
felt
sure you came
horrible.
home and you looked in like because I didn't shut the door. I was like, that was not.
Hey,
My
Nick,
thought was
what
not.
the fuck?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were like, dude. And I, to your credit, I think you were like, do you need me to
No,
call an
literally, I
ambulance?
wasn't fucking around because I was like, dude, are you gonna die right now? Because he was just like horrible. But
Mom
I
won't
could have
forgive
swore
me if
I
you
could have
die
swore
here.
there was a dead lump of cheese on that counter too. But whatever.
There might have been.
You know, we
That
don't
was
have
also
to-
in my phase where I would cut. I would get the big logs of salami, cut them, and then put them on a grill, like in a saucepan, so they'd crisp up.
That's
And then I would
brilliant.
just, it was
That's
really, it
brilliant.
was so good. They were like salami chips.
Oh shit!
I know. I did a lot of crazy shit.
I got salami out there. I should be doing this.
You should. It's really good because all the salt comes out and
Yeah.
all the oil like comes out and you just get it enough. But it's also kind of crispy and burnt.
Yeah.
And now he's like,
It's really
I
good.
eat salads and I do yoga, and in the
does.
climbing community, man. It's
Well, there's
just
only so many shits you can break up with a
fucking hanger,
wire
dude.
hanger before you're like, I need to change my diet. Something in my lifestyle is not right.
Yeah, I'm still in that stage.
What stage?
That's
Where you break
the wire
toilets.
hanger
You are. Well, this
stage.
also, to be fair,
Just
so
drink more water.
I've had a
No, he
shit
doesn't
problem
do that.
for
He
my
doesn't do
entire
that.
life. So how do I solve this problem? So okay, story that I think
Shitting
we've
at
told
Starbucks.
at
This table.
this table many times.
My,
don't know
I
if
want
it's-
you to know my
I-
arm. I'm not drunk, but I'm buzzed enough where I'm like this table, and I couldn't get to it because of my own arm, and I was like, I don't know how to fix this problem.
So recently, I've always my entire life, as long as Kevin's known me, I've had problems pooping. I have very hard poops, and there was one time here where that was an issue.
Yeah,
And
but
now-
you tried to play it off like it was normal.
No,
food.
no,
You lied
here's-
to us. You lied
no,
to us.
No. Here's
did.
my thing. I will not take full credit for the
Oh,
damage
sure.
that happened here.
Nick
'Cause
rides
it's
that
like,
pony every fucking day.
Yeah, so it's like I'm very conscious about what happens.
Are you gonna
and that-
say what? I've not heard this. Did you break a toilet?
Oh, I've broken so many toilets.
No, he
I-
busted Colin's toilet, yeah.
This
Oh, in this house?
instance.
Yes, I
This
did.
house.
In this house, yes.
it was
I
like
did.
the first time you took a shit.
The first time ever. And honestly, that shit, no. That should not broke anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do
No,
not take
something
full
happened
credit
prior.
for that.
Something happened prior.
Yeah,
before
it was
you
pride,
walked
but I think it's been years of buildup. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know. But, like, real talk, I've shit some shit, I've said this many times, that would scare you. And it's like, that was not one of those. That should have been
That's a normal
flushed by
poop.
a fucking anything, right? That was
Preschool
like,
toilet.
If you're in Smash Bros. And you're on the handicap of how hard you want the enemy to be, this was like a 3.
Okay.
You know? So I'm like, all right, I want this one to be real. But that was not good. That was not good. That was just whatever. But I break them all the fucking time. So yeah, the hanger shit, like that's a normal move. Totally normal. But I got a little distracted there from what I was even talking about. But the plumber had to come here.
Yeah.
Right? And I saw the shit that he used, his little fucking
The snake.
maneuver
Snake the
thing.
drain.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna YouTube this because this is gonna happen again. Less than a week later, break the toilet at the house that I'm living at. And I'm like, well, this is fucking bullshit. Now, I was like, all right, this can't be me. Like, I am pretty conscious about like how I poop and making sure that I take flushes. Like I break it up into this is very TMI, but you can't spell TMI without TIM. I break it up into pieces as it goes down. And
Yeah,
it's
a shit I
still
deal with every year.
it's still fucking did the shit. And I'm like, fuck. So I had to get the plumber. And again, he comes out with this goddamn machine. It wasn't even a machine. It was just a fucking thing. And I'm like, all right, it was a snake.
A fucking snake. I
For
said
the
the word
one-off
already.
comments, I think you're allowed to be back.
I'm
there.
allowed to be back. I thought about that religiously.
Don't let. See, this is how it changed with him too.
His fucking for those
Kevin
of you
Coelho
listening,
stays long
his
enough to be the
fucking
enemy.
feet are up, and I feel subservient now.
He does kind of look like a little master sitting over there.
So I start YouTubing this shit as Tim Gettys would, and I start seeing
Watch
like,
the
oh,
monitor.
people have these snakes. You can just buy them. So I went on Amazon, bought snakes. Now in my house, I have a fucking snake.
That's hot.
I've clogged that shit 3 times since then, and I just fucking snake.
Can
that
I tell
shit.
you what you do,
I
though?
threw my back out once doing it.
Yeah.
Because that's the
course you
story of my. It's way harder. Those plumbers, dude.
They earn their
when
keep.
they're charging so much money, they fucking deserve
Well, no,
it. That
in a-
shit's hella hard.
In a main snake job, though, they have the machine that does it.
Oh, okay.
It's like you plug it in, and it's a motor that does it.
See,
to
yeah,
get through
no.
the real big shit.
For me, it's this like mop looking thing.
no, yeah, that's not.
And then
that's not the pro style.
You stick it in, and then you pull it all the way down.
Yeah.
You have to pull all the way back, and it's a stretch. Then you spin down, put in a little bit more pressure on it, get all the way down. You got to get that thrust, the
Yeah,
hip
you
thrust
look like
motion.
you're doing
I
a
got
cool
going
new
on too.
dance.
You got it in there,
It's almost like you go, why do we go to college? Get
and then you
these
keep spinning a
degrees?
bit. You keep
Now we're
spinning a
talking
bit.
about shitting.
Keep spinning a bit, and then you have to spin the other way slowly and pull it out like that.
And you said you didn't know how to dance.
You don't.
You get out there and you do this. Chicks
You-
will
I
love
mean,
it.
I would
And you
say
get that shit out.
I would
But
call
see,
it
here's
Tim
the problem.
shit.
Then you need to fucking clean that thing.
Yeah, you do because
And
it's covered in
that's the-
shit.
No, not only is it covered in shit.
Oh god, I don't like where this is going.
Inside it's like
Oh,
imagine
no,
a slinky with a really pointy end, and then the
no.
slinky's just there's so much shit inside of it, and toilet paper and just nasty things that I'm like, I didn't put that down there. That shouldn't be there.
So what do you do?
So then what I do. No. So what you do to clean it, you have 2 options. You can either take it outside and hose it down. I don't have a hose, so that's not what I do. What I do is I have a bucket, and I take the bucket and I fill it with Clorox.
Sure,
Right?
Sure.
Fill that with hot water. Then I put it in there, let it do its thing for a day or 2. Then I pour that water down the toilet because now the toilet is clean and you can flush it and everything's fine. And then you're good. That thing's clean as a whistle.
Cool.
You have some kind of sponsor to follow that story?
Thank
about,
God
or-
we do not. Thank God we do
Our new
not.
sponsor, you know, depends.
Broke me. I don't think
When
I have.
you-
I was like,
I'm
I
ti-
don't want
No,
it.
I mean it
That's
was
brothers.
fascinating. It was
That's
riveting.
Brothers.
Yeah, I guess.
See, and I'm grossed out sometimes with like the toilet brush. Where
No,
actually
yeah, I
after
don't like a toilet
after I
brush,
get done
yeah.
working with it, it's all like still. I'm like, I really just want to throw you away. And I know they used to make the disposable one. Then 9/11 happened. All the environmentalists
Oh my
came out of
God.
the ground.
No, Greg.
That's
Jesus,
not what
Greg,
happened.
that's not what
No,
9/11 was
that's
about.
Hey, no, but see, going back to brothers real quick though, it's that type of shit though. Like you never know what you're gonna have to deal with brothers, and it's like you got to be ready and prepared for fucking anything. And like whether it's shitty literally or shitty in other ways, it's just like shit's gonna be there, and you just gotta fucking deal with it. And as bad as it is, and my brother has put me through some shit that like
Yeah.
I would rival with the worst things anyone's ever had to fucking deal with ever. And it's like you just kind of ride it out and you just fucking deal with it. And if everything's okay, if you get that phone call that's like he's okay, you roll over and go to
you're
sleep.
good.
That's all you need
Is
to
he alive?
know.
Great.
He's fine.
Will he
Like
live? Great.
okay, he got in this fucking car accident. It fucking sucks. And he's wrapped around a palm tree, but it's okay because he's alive.
I was just taking a shot.
Kevin taking fucking photos in the middle of the show, acting like we ain't gonna mug for the camera. We've almost finished a bottle of whiskey
Yeah, I
here. You
know,
think we're not
that's
gonna
it.
mug for the camera right now?
Jesus Christ.
You're not in the shot.
We're finishing it. I am. I'm right there. Who do you think that Superman
Let me
shirt
see the
is?
picture. Let me see the
There you
picture.
go.
There it is.
This is a
Nice.
brand
Oh,
new
that's
bottle.
it. That's what we took sexy
I
pictures
never
for.
asked.
You're
you.
a
Well, fuck
real
you.
piece of shit,
Can
Kevin.
we start on topic?
Also, I saw you write something down there. Did you write down my 9/11 reference? Like you're gonna delete that from the show?
No, I was prepping for topic 4.
Thank
Look,
you.
if there's anything that's fine to make fun of now, it's 9/11, right, Greg?
The top, Collins has said multiple times I'm allowed to.
Okay, if Colin is the one person that could actually tell me.
And I didn't really.
whether or not it's right.
I just don't know what happened to the disposable top toilet brush. Remember these things?
No, but
I
to be
used to
fair, I
use
didn't
them.
really clean ever.
The little clips.
Yeah, you had the stick, you just clip it in, you clean the toilet, and you pop it in the trash. Are they still around? I should probably buy one of those.
Yeah, you should. I want you guys to just get someone to clean the house. Just get a house cleaner. It alleviates a lot of stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we
We'll
charge the company? Because you want to know. You want to
Yes.
know. Do you want to know? Time for the airing of grievances for Festivus.
Let's do it.
No, you missed Festivus. That was last month.
Topic 3?
This is still topic 3. This is
Okay.
at the end of the topic where like the true fans are here, so you can say whatever they want, and they like to hear this kind of stuff. Whereas the rest were like, "I'm glad I now know about brothers," and they're done. They've moved on.
And shitting.
For like an hour.
The most offended / hurt I have been in recent memory was one Kevin Coelho, who came over here with Greg Gettys, and they were setting up the room, and then they moved the white thing that we use for the shoots out there, right? And Kevin laid it down on the floor and picked it up, and he's like, "Oh," he's making jokes to Greg about how dirty it is and how they should vacuum around here more.
We're gonna have to clean it next time we use it. Just so you know.
And my point is not that you're right. The floors are dirty because I'm exhausted and I have to live where we work. And I know you're right. When I'm done working at 8:30 or getting ready to wake up at 3 a.m. to post a fucking podcast in the middle of the night, I'm sorry I'm not vacuuming. By the time we end here, I'm exhausted and don't want to do anything. No, I agree.
I want you to vacuum.
I
think you
agree with
should.
Nick. That,
Because no, and I say that because you're an asshole, and you say things like that, and you're like, I'm being fucking funny, and I'm just. My brother doesn't give a shit. My brother doesn't.
oh no,
give a fuck.
Greg Gettys was
Yeah,
chill as fuck.
he
Greg
could not care.
Greg
That was
Gettys
a
was
Kevin
juiced to
comment.
be here.
Hold on a
Yes.
second. I was saying that out of concern because next time we use it, it's. I was saying like Nick's gonna be fucking pissed.
Oh, Nick's gonna be pissed.
Roll it.
Hold on.
Well, to be
Before we
fair,
move
Nick,
off the
Nick
topic,
was pissed when he walked in and saw that thing just fucking stuffed over in the corner because that's not where that belongs. That belongs stuffed into that corner.
I didn't put it there.
Who put it there?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Kevin stuffed it in the corner in the living room, my
Right,
living room.
right.
So when I wanted to entertain people, I came and stuffed it in the corner of this room. So at no point when Kevin left it out there, also not where it belongs.
What are we talking
I
about,
shoved it in
Kevin?
here.
welcome to the Game Over Greg.
No,
show.
I just wanna
Before
know
we move on to the topic, though, I
what we're
I
talking
have one more thing when talking about brothers, because
Sure,
and this was going to be a topic one thing of questions about.
It's okay.
Nick.
I love you.
But
Okay,
now that Nick's
yeah.
here,
You're my
now that
bro.
we're
Let's
all
do it.
here
Let's do it.
on some brother shit.
Brother shit.
When did Nick go from 0 to 1,000 in terms of rage? Because it's like the
Well-
people, they've only seen it a couple times with the poster throwing and stuff. But has he always been like that? And the more important question, did he learn it from you?
Yeah. No, we both learned it
No,
from
from
my
my
mother.
dad. My dad.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
dad.
Oh, that's right. He has
No,
it too.
dad.
Mom has it too.
No.
Both of our parents are not good at.
They go from 0 to rage. But no, Nick,
Yeah.
okay, so Nick, we talked about the punching the tree.
We mentioned it. We don't know what
mentioned it.
happened.
Please tell the
there.
story.
So I assumed.
You weren't home for this story.
No, I
so you
wasn't.
Don't know how it happened.
I wasn't. No, I can only tell the aftermath, and I assumed it was because mom was mom.
Yep.
And you, and you were
Enough
you,
said.
and you were you. And from my point of view, I come home, probably in college, maybe. Second,
You
third
were in
year?
college. I was in high school.
Yeah, so I come home, probably my sophomore
This is
year,
my senior
and I
year.
lived at home, so I drove like 40 minutes a day to get to my school. I walk in the front door, throw my keys down, I look at Nick, and he's up like this. And I'm like, hey, buddy. Why do you have two
I
casts?
had one cast on. I did not have two casts on.
Dude.
That was you.
No, that wasn't me. I didn't have
That
two
was you
casts.
after you fucking crashed
I
a
never
car.
had a cast. Never had a cast. We've already told the story. It's done. That was up.
I had one cast on my right hand, and it wasn't even.
I thought you
cast.
broke both your hands.
No.
Okay, so one of your
hand.
hands was broke?
Yes.
Regardless, the fucking guy goes outside. He gets pissed at my mom. He probably slams the fucking door, walks outside, does another kata on the front lawn, and he fucking whacks at this tree. And he told me later that he threw like a double, like some kind of combination where he's like, ah! And then he went, ah! And his hands were essentially broke, like boxer breaks.
No, what
He
had
got
happened
boxer
was
breaks.
I was arguing with my mom over some stupid shit, and
I was right.
my mother has a
Why are
way.
you eating all the capers, Nicky?
No, it wasn't.
Don't
that.
leave the cheese on the counter.
It wasn't that. It's just my mother. When you start diving into why you act the way you act, it's a very good idea to probably look at your upbringing
Well,
and
Fuck.
and how your parents sort of deal with situations.
Yeah.
And I love my mother. She's a very, very beautiful human being, but she does not deal with stressful situations or confrontation very well. In fact, her way of doing it is to immediately either get super defensive, actually just pretty much get super defensive and yell at you. And
She's working on it though. She's working.
So what
on
had
it.
happened was
We're
I
working
took the
on that.
SATs and she opened the letter.
Is this number 1?
This is the first time I opened it.
Yes, I remember
She
this.
opened the
I
letter,
remember
and this
this
was
now.
this was 6 months
So good.
prior
So
to
good.
what had happened, and I was going to like do college applications or something at the time.
he was such a
and she had
bitch.
opened the letter and she looked at the score and told me the score, and she said I got like an 11 something, and I was like 1165 or something like that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty okay. Like that can probably get me like a good UC or whatever. So I had to think about it again. So all the stress from having to take the SAT was then over.
Yeah.
Right. So flash forward to like a couple months later. When I was fucking applying for colleges, I was like, where's that letter with my SAT score? And she's like, oh, here, you got a 1065. And I was like, no, you said, I thought she had said that I got a 1265. She goes, oh yeah, maybe I did. And I'm like, that's 200 points lower. Like that's the difference between a good school and like not a good school.
Shit.
And she's like, well, why are you yelling at me about this? Yada, yada, yada. You should look at the fucking letter. And I was like, oh my God, I can't deal with you. And then rather than like blow up at her, I was like, I was trying to practice.
He used to
sort of better things.
internalize
I'm
a
like,
lot of
I'm going to go
anger.
for a walk right now and we're going to try to have a discussion about this when I get back.
Stupid.
And then she said one thing to me and I can't remember what it was. But my mother was like a master at like, God bless her, but
Last words.
she's not good at being introspective to the point of admitting that maybe
Just a
something,
skosh.
just a skoshie of this might have been her fault. Like maybe she could take just a skosh responsibility. In fact, her defense
Fucking
mechanism
5%.
more often than not was to make it so that I am the biggest asshole on the planet because I didn't study for the SATs. When that's not the issue. The issue was like, yeah, I should look at the paper, but also why the fuck didn't you look at the paper closer? And why are you?
Let's
getting
be
mad at me? You
honest.
made a
She
mistake?
committed a federal offense. Let's just say what it is.
Whatever.
She
So-
opened your fucking mail. That's a federal offense.
It doesn't. I mean, I lived with her. It was, it's her.
You did?
She can open it. Yeah.
Yeah, but were you 18?
No, maybe not.
Whatever. Continue.
Doesn't matter.
Continue.
So,
He can't even just roll with the joke you're making. You know what I mean?
Just fucking
She's
asshole.
not committed federal offense. I'm with the fucking feds
I've
knocking
gone
on my
blind in
mom's
my
door.
left
You
eye
opened a
right
fucking
now
mail
from
10
this
years
whiskey,
ago.
so I'm good. Whatever we gotta do.
So
I mean,
whatever.
It's
It was
so hot in here. I'm about to take my pants
Yeah.
off.
It is really hot.
Please do.
Yeah, I mean, can I take my pants off? Is
Yeah,
that what
you can
you're-
take your pants
Oh,
off.
Kevin's saying pants off.
We're almost done.
Can I? You want to see
You're
my
not putting
new
the fan.
Duluth underwear? I'm wearing the new ones.
Later, maybe.
The barely naked.
When you want to show Tim your penis again.
Oh, it's tiny right now. I'm sorry.
But it's so hot.
Also, I want this very clear to everyone at home because this has been a theme of this episode. Kevin is driving me home for this episode.
What does that mean?
DUIs, not
Oh,
good.
sure,
Because
sure.
I'm pushing the pure one far beyond his
oh,
means.
yeah,
The
yeah,
pure
yeah,
one
no,
does
this-
not. No, you're drinking
Oh,
that.
I'm drinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted.
Okay.
I wanted them to know.
Oh, I see
They've
what you're
seen me
doing.
the whole time. I want it clear because they know that I'm
No,
driving home.
this is the show I tuned in for.
You know, things happen.
This is brotherhood.
So
It
long
is.
story short on my dumbass story, I overreacted. We weren't communicating well. I didn't deal with the situation well because it was a shock to me that I then now had to prep again for the fucking SATs and take it again.
Yep.
So I was like,
I would've been
I'm going
angry.
to, before I get really super angry, I'm going to go for a walk. And I'm going to practice some deep breathing. And as I'm
shadow
walking
boxing.
out the door, of course, my mom can't let anything go.
So
My
last
mom's also
words.
like,
Last words.
my mom's also like
gotta have
the
the last word.
master of the last words, right? Fucking A, if you're going to walk out of that house without hearing her peace of mind on this. Right.
Last fucking word.
And it doesn't have to really, contextually, it doesn't have to have anything to do with the argument, by the way.
absolutely
This
correct.
could be some shit you did 20 years ago for all the fuck she
No,
cares.
she will
Doesn't
remember
matter.
and pull
fucking
the fucking
amazing
library out.
shit. Yeah. It's like a
You
mental
have to have.
Rolodex.
You have to work through it. when
And,
it happens.
and she was a master at using some of his shit against me, too. Well, your fucking brother crashed a car and I got to deal with that. I'm like, I had nothing to do with that. That's his dumbass mistake, but you're yelling at me for it. Great. So I can't remember what she said as I exited the house, but there was a tree in our front yard. And I just,
that tree was gonna
She
get
said
it.
it, and I was like, motherfuck. And I just walloped that thing. And then I was like,
Yeah.
that felt good. I'm going to knock this, in my brain, I'm like, I'm going to knock this fucking tree down and
Hulk
show her
out.
who is boss.
Hulk out,
so
big
I hit
head.
it like 2 more times.
Dude.
And then I
Dude.
walked up the street and I looked at my hand and it was like the size. It was like
It was all
the-
Rick Grimes.
What had happened
was.
what had happened was I got to my credit, to my incredibly dense bone structure, which probably came from years of eating sugar cereal with like milk,
The fat milk.
the fat milk. I must have I didn't break a bone. What had happened was it's called a boxer's fracture, where your knuckle meets like this in a joint.
Show the camera. Show the camera.
meets like this in a joint, and when you hit this being the front of your knuckle, and this or front of your fist, and this is your wrist area, it pushes over the other knuckle. And so what you have to do is you have to walk it. I walked in an emergency room and I was like, Doc, and he's like, let me guess, you punch something. And I was like, how'd you know? He goes, I see those all the time, people that punch things. It's called a boxer's fracture. And I'm like, well, do I need a cast for it? He's like, you don't necessarily need a cast for it, but unfortunately, if you want it to heal correctly,
I gotta
pull it back out. So there's no bone chip or anything like that.
Yeah,
It
you
wasn't a
just gotta
broken
realign
bone. It needed to just kind of be pulled back out.
Yeah.
And he was like, so basically what he has to do is he has to take your hand.
Yeah.
And he feels the joint here
Here, hold
instead
on.
of where it's
Do it
supposed
over
to
here,
be.
do it over here.
He'll
Just
feel
say,
the knuckle
"Will
here
you,
instead of being down here, and he has to
Greg,
pull
marry
it back
me?"
down.
Did he do it
and pull your
fast?
finger out. No, I mean no, because he has to feel it, and it's more of a. It's not like a.
Yeah, it's not like taffy.
And it's going back in. It's a. We're gonna get this as far as we can with it, and then call it a day. And then he cast it up, and I only had the cast on for a week.
Oh, okay.
But
He's like it's not really gonna do anything, and he's like, and chances are, to be perfectly honest, it's gonna go right back into where it was before, like up the wrong way. And if you look at my knuckles now, you can see how that one's flat.
Yeah.
And that one's got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so it
so-
wasn't smart, and that was.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, we both get that rage from my parents,
That makes sense.
who are not good at communicating and who fly off the fucking
My-
handle at every
My wife calls
chance they
it
get.
the monster.
Yeah, it is the
She goes, I don't want to see the monster today.
No,
And
I
was
get
like,
it.
You're like, it's
I
too
get it.
late.
I'm
here
like
it
this.
comes.
Hey, to be fair, I've known you for 6 years now.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I've only seen it, I'd say like 4 times.
Yeah.
Total.
You saw it the other night. You saw it
Oh,
last week.
I saw it last week.
I was screaming because we had some things planned, and it was no one's fault, and I was just tired.
It's
and
the
I'm
usual
like-
domino effect. It's
Yeah.
the knuckles. Everything's laying on top of each other when
Yeah.
it shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
I fucking and I apologized to Tim and Kevin later, and Tim goes like this.
Take away the knife.
the fucking hammer with the knife in his hand.
Tim was like, "No problem, dude. It's not a problem. I know you're stressed, and it's not a big deal." He's like, "I just want you to know this, though. In the middle of your rant and rave, you did call me and Kevin cocksuckers."
Nick, out of nowhere. Like, what's funny is, and like, not to get too deep into this,
Oh my god!
you set it up correctly. It was something out of nothing, and it made sense. Like, I don't blame you because it was a stressful situation. But Kevin did the Kevin thing of just kind of exacerbating the situation, like he does, where it's like,
Not a bad thing. Not your fault.
It's
but you do like to fuck with me when I'm mad.
He could have stopped, and Kevin knows this though. Kevin, and he didn't need to make a point. Like, I understand everything that happened, but what's funny is that there was a moment that occurred, and me and Kevin both read it the same way, and that was, if Kevin says one more thing, Nick's gonna lose it. And Kevin had that moment, and I saw him. He like looked at me for a second, and I looked at him, and I didn't give him the "don't do it" look. I gave him the "I'm staying out of this" look, and so that was on him. And he did it. He said the thing, and Nick fucking lost it. And Nick just started screaming and screaming. And then all of a sudden, you started calling both of us cocksucker. You started directing the anger at me too. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here.
You're in the room.
Yeah, and it was
You're
so,
collateral damage.
So funny because then,
Yeah.
then later you come back in classic Nick fashion, and I'll always appreciate this. You apologize, and you know that you made
You guys don't
mistakes.
deserve these things.
And
And this is me
that's-
taking.
and
This is
that's-
just me not having a good stress outlet, and it sucks that I take it out on you guys.
Exactly,
I
but
respect that.
that's the beauty of it is
You guys
that
should hug it out.
we know
We
that,
did.
and we know how to work together.
No, but what you're getting is you understand, because I've had to accept this. That's why my wife and I are doing better, because at one time we weren't, and now we are, because I had to say, okay, there are moments in my life where I do react like mom. I am more like mom. You are more like dad.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because I go like, as you told the story about when we were in that comedy club,
Yeah.
and that bitch wouldn't shut her mouth.
That's coming. That one's going.
He's exaggerating for fun. Okay,
Cut that one out.
I want a hard cut, Kev. Right back to now. There we go.
And I know that Nick's like, oh, well, Matt gets sassy, but really, I now can turn it on and off, and I chose to turn it on because I was really frustrated at that
Yeah,
situation.
but you and I both know that's not the right way to deal with any situation.
No, but it was super fun.
It was very.
It was super fun.
And in that regard, to be fair,
she had to be the funny one, and I was like, no, sweetheart, no, let me tell you something right now. I'm better than
Why
you.
did you just turn it into
I'm gonna
Desi
fucking-
Arnaz? That was amazing.
Desi Arnaz.
I thought he was
Lucy.
doing like mafia, like
No,
an
I-
Italian.
Desi Arnaz. I have no
Desi
idea what I'm doing.
Arnaz.
When I'm like this, oh, okay, no, I'm not doing Desi Arnaz.
You're like, maybe it was more
Lucy.
Scarface.
Or it
where
was more like,
"Oh,
okay,
Sarah,
honey."
look, my little friend.
Oh, there you go.
It's like,
want-
you gotta go.
You're gonna die big time.
Topic number 4.
Holy shit.
I'm pulling a Nick.
We're two
gotta pee?
hours and 12 minutes
I gotta
into this
pee
show.
so bad.
Go pee.
I'm
Go
gonna
pee.
do
Should we
that.
take a
42 minutes left on the card.
We'll
What's
finish
the
this.
next topic?
It's Nick's topic. Where will you be in 5 years?
Where will it be in 5 years? So I mean, I think we do this every year now. I think
Are we
it's
starting or are we
tradition.
waiting for Tim?
You want to wait for
Tim, do you want us to wait or do you want to start?
Pee with the door open. We'll
stab that turd, brother?
He can hear us still.
Stab it.
door's open. Yeah, he's fine.
You know, part of the
You
excitement
know, my
of this
guy's
new
pants are off.
He's like a 5-year-old in the urinal.
Let me see the Brad Pitt of the internet's cock. Bring to me a virgin.
Brad Pitt of the internet.
You're just joining us. This was full.
Why I said
Yeah.
that.
It's gonzo now.
happening.
This stuff's good, by the way. Thank you for bringing it.
You know, I realized just before, because I was like, oh, yeah, Portillo, and I started touching him, and then I just was like, this dog is so soft, and I looked over at the monitor, and you're right, it does look
Like
like
you're jacking Greg off.
jacking Greg off. I
Sometimes-
totally had to like stop.
Sometimes
There he
when,
is.
especially not now because we don't.
Isn't he good? Isn't he a good boy? And it's like fucking right on the monitor. I look like I'm blowing your friend.
There's
It looks like I'm just swallowing the goodness.
he does have a lot of goodness. There have been times
do.
when I've accidentally stroked Greg's arm instead of Portillo, and he
little
doesn't.
chicken
He
wing.
doesn't.
I don't mind. I
The
like being
dog
touched.
is sitting in his crotch.
When you were doing,
so-
you know what? The thing I enjoy the most is the hand massage. So when you were doing like the knuckle thing, I was like, this is good.
I fucking love him. You know what I like? And this is gonna sound dirty, so I'll try to keep it from sounding sexual because it doesn't be coming out of my mouth, and I recognize this. So I want you to know that. I like the unsolicited massage. When someone just comes
sure.
up and rubs the back without you asking or having to pay for it,
Sure.
it is the most amazing thing.
You did it to me today. It felt great.
It's so
When
good.
you do it, it's amazing.
I got good hands.
It really is.
Except Kevin, says Tim from the other room.
Well, because Kevin always tries to crack a weird joint that
I'm
then
not-
gives
but
you
I haven't been
arthritis.
tortured by you for like 21 years.
I do it to you, too.
I do like your
But we
brothers.
haven't been tortured. I mean, like Tim again, the brother topic. He's been around you too long. You're like milk that's gone sour, but he can't throw it away because his sister, who has been lost since 1989, is on the carton.
Jesus Christ.
But he can't throw it away.
That went so dark.
The only time he gets to see his sister anymore is when he opens the fridge and stares back in her 1989 eyes.
Does she have braces?
What the fuck
No,
are
she
you
wasn't
saying?
smiling with her mouth.
What
but
are
she
we
had that
talking
cool
about?
laser background behind her.
Oh, I love that laser
the
background.
laser background was so
That was
fucking
so
good.
dope. I was like, can I have laser background?
Yeah, first grade, I think, when I convinced my parents to do that for me because it was like more money, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you want to be on blue? Do you want to be in the forest? Do you want the lasers? I want the fucking
fucking
lasers.
lasers,
Looks like I'm
Mom.
in the Phantom Zone. Hell yeah, I want
Do you
that.
not know who your child is? Where are we going to be in 5 years?
5 years is so far.
But we'll be doing kind of funny.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Is like, you want something that I can fucking guarantee in 5 years is that me, Nick, Greg, Colin will be, and Kevin. Sorry.
Notice I just want to.
I was gonna say I think there's a better chance of Kevin being with you than us.
No. I think that we're all going to be doing shit.
Yeah, for kind of funny.
Yeah. I think that it's not going to be a Beatles thing. It's not going to be
A Yoko.
a Yoko or whatever. It's like
Or any
I think,
band, really.
I think that we're going to have
Thank God
differences.
that there isn't some girl tearing one of the members of this group out every so often.
Where is Colin?
No, I don't even want to joke about that.
Are we talking
Oh,
about
I'm
Colin?
totally fucking around. We
I know,
all love
I know
Aaron.
you are. I know you are. I love her. But even
we
because
talking
Colin, I want
Colin
Colin to
Moriarty.
know that I believe.
No, I'm
I
joking. I'm
believe
joking.
that
I was
we'll
so
be
excited
together.
that I would be here, and he's thank you, Greg. Thank you. Go Islanders. Go Islanders. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. It's
That is
great.
the single worst Colin Moriarty impression I've ever heard in my life.
I thought it was Ed Sullivan.
I wasn't trying. I wasn't trying.
The
I
next
wasn't
group,
trying.
the Beatles.
Yeah. No. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm sad he's not here. Let's take a minute for fallen friends.
We're gonna talk about FaceTime for you to talk
Oh
to
fuck!
him.
Can we do that?
I'll text.
Cut that out.
Cut that out.
Yeah.
I want you to come back from that.
Oh, and we're back.
Anyways, back to it. Honestly, I think
Kevin, by the way, has a fucking page and a half of notes from this
God.
episode.
But there are a lot of like ad things.
Yeah, it's
cut-
not.
Not
This is
like
good.
cut that out. Shit. It's like a disease.
I honestly believe that in 5 years, Kind of Funny is going to be better than ever, and that we're all still going to be good, and everything's going to be great. It's not going to be one of those bad stories. And it's like I feel like we got past the bad story part. Like I think that could have been, I don't know.
Oh,
even
before we even left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think like even
There were
before,
growing pains of like
Exactly,
how
but-
do we work with each other and what does
but
that
even
mean?
then
and what
though,
are we doing?
I think this last year has just proven to all of us how we need to work with each other and how we need to grow with each other, how to deal with each other, and most importantly, how individually we need to lead certain fronts and just grow that way. So it's not growing apart, it's growing in the same direction, just separately, you know, and then bringing that all together. And I think that because we have that foundation, unless something ridiculous, like there are very few things that I think could happen that would ruin what we have going for us. So it's like, unless one of us kills somebody's that we love or sleeps with someone. So if you sleep with Kevin, Nick,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh, well.
I think we could bounce back
That
from
might
a
be
sleeping.
we had a moment at
I don't know
PAX
about that.
Prime this
Really?
year.
I don't know about that.
Nick's always offering stuff up in a weird way, and I think that like it could just happen.
But I know, but I'm talking about Kevin.
Wait,
If we
who's-
slept with
If
Kevin,
anyone
girlfriend
sleeps
can I
with
sleep
Kevin,
with?
I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
okay.
But
sleep with
besides
him.
that, I think that we're good, and I
That's
think
a
that
line we
that's
can't cross. Sure.
Not that that was the thing that I was worried about, but I mean, in any type of thing like this that we're growing, we're building, like those moments do happen. But I do think that we've crossed the path of trusting each other and respecting each other and becoming friends. I honestly, that's really the way it comes down to it. Yeah. We're now friends. We weren't friends. We were acquaintances. I think we're friends now.
Sure. We're
I
family
would say
now.
that. Yeah.
I
definitely.
would
And,
say
we're not
family.
friends. We're family.
Yeah,
but no,
family.
but even then, we're friends too. It's family and friends. We've been
I
family
actually-
But
for
see,
a
I
long
think it's
time.
family. I think family supersedes it. Because I think we were acquaintances
Yeah,
for a long
I
time,
agree
but
with
now
that.
we are like, Colin used to always use this thing of like, I just want to take my hand and jump, blah, blah, blah. This is when we were working at IGN. And then finally I grabbed his hand one day. He's like, I don't know if I want to jump. I'm like, God, fucking jump. You said you would. But like, that's the thing. We're all intrinsically tied to one another now, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I think that's the thing of like, you can't even get mad at anybody.
No,
you,
no.
you can get mad. Well, we all get mad at each other except him.
But
I
that's
get mad. I just don't show it.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. If you're gonna listen to Nick call you a cocksucker, you've flipped over the duality of the moment, like your
Oh,
friendship
yeah.
and
I
family.
haven't given you a lot.
Well, I mean, the moment
you know what I
with-
mean? Because
the thing-
any
the-
other professional, if somebody called me a
Oh,
cocksucker,
trust me. I know.
would
I
level
know.
them.
I fucked that glass.
Thank you.
Okay, you
The-
called
the
many a
thing-
person a cocksucker, man.
I know.
I don't use that phrase, Nick.
Do you want some of this?
Yeah, you use way worse
okay.
phrases.
What phrases do I use? It's worse. I'm not.
Kevin,
I'm
get
not
the
going
bleep
to.
button ready.
Hey,
We're not
no,
going
no,
to
no.
cut.
And this is a growing thing with Nick. Like for me, the moment that I knew me and Nick were friends and we're fucking like partners, like business partners, partners in life, whatever you want to call it, is the first time you flipped out at me. It was over some dumb shit, totally dumb shit, and
Usually is.
I apologized to you. Like I was like, and you apologized to me afterwards, but like I brought you in a room, like, dude, I'm so sorry, and I was like, oh fuck, this is my fault. It wasn't until the next time I realized it's not my fault. It's just it's not anyone's fault, really. Like I don't even blame you. It's more a circumstantial thing of you being stressed and this and whatever.
Yeah.
That was when I was like, oh, we just got to keep. That's Nick. That's how Nick does things.
That's how I deal with
every
reality.
one. And again, it's only been 4 times in 6 years.
Sure.
So,
I always feel bad about them, but
but
that's
that's the thing is I know you feel bad about it, but that first time I didn't know that. Like I didn't know until I talked to Eric Hart, and I'm like, dude, Nick flipped out at me, and he was just like, oh, Nick does that. That's the Nick thing.
Yeah,
like,
I flipped that on Eric a couple times.
yeah, exactly.
Eric's
And-
like,
and-
you done?
But that's the thing where it's like,
But you
oh,
learn that. We
that's
learn that that's how it
exactly.
is.
And then everything
Yeah.
becomes cool. And Colin,
if-
same. I've had those situations with Colin. Honestly, Colin, I've never been closer to him than I have been in the past 4 months. Like he's opened up, he is happy, and he wants to be
Part of everything, yeah.
Yeah, and socially.
But we've all
and
learned how to
everything.
work with each other and what it means, right? Like now when I'll snip at Kevin, Colin will interject and be like, Kevin, Greg doesn't want to talk to you right now. Don't do it. And similar to what you're talking about, from my end, the day you called them cocksuckers, part of it was my fault or the situations I had set up or whatever, and I wasn't here at the moment. And so I texted back to Tim, I'm like, we're going back and forth, and I'm explaining what's happening. I'm like, do you want food? Tim responds, yes, please. I go, give me everyone's order. Tim responds, you know what? Forget it. Nick just hulked out on everyone after the call, trying to calm everything down. And I go, great, mad at me? Or is he just mad at the situation? Tim says, literally everything right now. He just left, but he'll be back. And I say, fuck. Tim says, we will handle this. I think he'll be calmed down when he comes back. And I go, of course, he always does.
Yeah.
Like we
That
all
is-
know
we get it.
all know the pieces on the board and how this plays out. So like it's one of those like ever
I
since
mean-
the poster tube, we all know to calm down. And same
Okay.
thing with me. When I get really snippy and shitty.
The poster tube was
That's
not.
because Nick is definitely.
What is this?
Don't show it to the
One of my
camera.
friends knows I'm podcasting.
Let
He
me
sent
see it.
he
What
sent
is
me a-
that?
he sent me. What does it look like?
Why is it purple though?
Jesus Christ!
Some-
Thank you, Chris
some of them
Torno.
are purple, some of them are
That is fucking
like
awesome.
a dark tan.
That was a great reference shot.
The poster moment I wasn't super rage mode. That I was having more fun with, but you guys interpreted it that I was
I
pissed
saw
off.
Yeah, I know you saw it.
There was I was playing a little bit, playing that a little bit off of the camera. I was
off. You unplugged the camera.
I was a little angry, but I wasn't I wasn't raging. I was having more fun with it than I was actually like, I need to get this rage out. But the moment last week, I was like, because to be fair, and I'm not making excuses for this because it's inexcusable to treat people like this, but the January has been really fucking hard.
It's been a
Oh,
really
yeah,
rough
man.
month. It's been a really rough
and
month.
I got
for
hit
us.
by all this shit at once. And I
Mhm.
was like, I'm just trying to solve these problems as much as possible. But every time I try to solve a problem, it's really frustrating when 2 other problems result from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Or because of something that I couldn't control that I thought I had already gotten ahead of, something else happens where it was not. I'm not blaming you for this, but like,
no.
there was just out of the 1,001 things we ask you to do every week. I put something on your plate that just couldn't be there because there was already something there and we didn't figure it out. And
Until it was mid thing where we're like, oh, fuck.
Right. And then compacted on top of that, the fact that Kevin is smarter than me and just really likes winning arguments. Just really likes it. He'll just keep going until he finds something that he can pick apart to win with you. And that makes me want to fucking just press the button and nuke the planet.
Yeah.
I'm like, where all you motherfuckers are going with me right now.
It makes sense.
Hit button.
But it's just because there's something about Kevin that I haven't cracked yet. And it's that, and I maybe, and this is bleed over to the brothers 5 years, whatever the fuck you want to do.
This whole
Does he
episode.
get mad and stuff?
Dude, okay, so real talk. This is getting really, really, really
Let's
real.
fucking take our shirts off.
I love him.
No.
So much.
Kevin, whoa!
I'm watching my shirt to see if you're doing it.
Nice shooting, Tex.
With Kevin, me and Kevin have gotten into, I would say, 3 fights in our entire life.
Well, what
ever.
kind of fights?
Maybe 2.
What kind of fights?
Maybe 2.
Not physical.
Not physical.
And they're all of them are involving Christmas. All of them. Literally, that's all it is. And it's because Kevin, I'm a piece of shit, and I have my rules that I stand by. And I am a piece of shit for them, but I stand by them. But Kevin pushes that because that's the one thing we are just completely opposites on. Where I'm like, yeah, it's Christmas.
Are you guys married?
Right? I mean, that's kind of what it's at.
No,
where
seriously.
He wants to spend time with his family, whatever, and the last thing I want to do is do that. And he will fight me for it. And like there's been multiple times. I thought it was 3. You say 2, I'll take 2. Where he's just like, you need to come. You need to fucking come. And I'm like, no. This was the first year that I just didn't even come. And I had real valid excuses for it. The anniversary stream we did this year. Hey, did that not fucking work?
It worked fine.
Yeah, it was because of that Christmas day that I worked really hard.
Christmas Eve.
Angry.
Whatever, all the shit. Anyways, regardless, Kevin knows how to push your buttons, but it's similar to Nick. Once you learn him, you learn what to not listen to, and you learn what to listen to. There's not a single person in this world that I'll go to when I have a question before Kevin. Like every single good thing that comes my way, I run it by Kevin. I'm like, what do you think about this? How can we improve this? Whatever. He gets me. He knows how to think. He's very, 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 very intelligent, and he knows all this shit. He also knows how to fuck with me like no one knows how to fuck
That's
with me.
because he's close to you.
But I know how to not give a fuck.
I haven't figured that one out yet.
I have that defense. And that's the thing. Nick just hasn't learned that yet.
Like,
you will.
Do you remember the time we were driving down to LA and we got into a screaming match with each other because we were debating what would happen if the moon disappeared?
You guys are wrong. I've done research since then.
And again,
I love that episode.
guess
by
what
the way.
happened, guys? I stayed fucking quiet.
No, you
I
didn't. No,
think it got sucked
you
in.
actually jumped in on his side, which made Sean even more pissed.
Well, okay,
Sean,
but
you didn't
again,
get mad.
but here's
Sean got mad.
I didn't
I didn't get
I'll
mad
stand
that one.
up for Kevin.
I was having more fun than anything else.
I'll hit on Kevin forever, but I'll fucking take his side in the fact that I know that he gives a shit more than Sean does, more than like a lot of people do.
See, that's one of those situations where I did recognize what Kevin was doing, and I'm like, aha, I am not going to play into
Right,
this.
and you
I'm going to
didn't-
fuck with Kevin by going to sciencefacts.com or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Bad side, and then not read the whole.
And
No,
yeah, exactly.
I picked the line that supported my point, just like
And
any good
stop
arguer
reading.
does. Yeah, and you were like, what was the name of that website? I was like, is your phone working? And you're like, no, because I have a dumbass Android phone that
Oh
doesn't
my
have...
god! The thing about Kevin though that people don't appreciate is that he is so much like Colin. Everyone fucking loves Colin, right?
Yeah.
Colin is the fucking fan favorite, and Kevin is more like him than any of us.
Yeah.
And any of us will be. He watches documentaries for fun more than Nick does. Nick does it for like some weird. I don't even know why you do
I like
it.
documentaries.
Yeah, but Kevin likes facts. Kevin likes history, and it's really interesting. So
'cause he
once
likes
you
to win
know
arguments.
what the fuck is happening right now.
Okay.
I'll ask a very important question. You want to go outside?
He's like, Dad, I gotta
He wants to go outside.
Okay.
So this is the first one. No, you can keep the show rolling.
No,
Because we're talking about where do you want to be in 5 years, and we're suddenly talking about
Right.
Kevin's rage or whatever.
Sorry, I
No,
want Matt.
no,
I
no.
want Matt to answer.
You're missing the point. This is an amazing episode. Everything's
It
been
is.
awesome.
It is.
Let's put a pause. I'm gonna stick another card in there. 'Cause
No,
I think
we need to finish this, or they'll never. Are they even doing a Game Over Greggy exclusive anymore? Are they doing a love and sex stuff? There's all this stuff that we are running into because the content's so good here.
Yeah.
But I'd rather you continue to talk while I walk my dog.
Yeah, just take mine.
Just everybody keep talking.
Yeah, we can do whatever you
You have
want.
27 minutes to save the world, as Justin Timberlake would say.
I like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Come on, 40.
What are we talking about?
I wanna- I
Where
just
do you
wanna-
want to be in 5 years?
Yeah, where do you want to do 5 years? So we talked a little bit, but if you're just joining this random segment, you didn't listen to the other 2 hours of our shit and sex talk.
Shove that mic.
It still looks cool though.
You know,
This is so I can turn where the fuck I want. Boom, boom. Beow, beow, beow. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
No, you got to go to that one.
Oh, that's right.
yeah. What'd you bring over?
What's up, everybody? Okay, go. What are we talking about?
So yeah, Matt. I mean, your career and your job and your business are all sort of growing, and your business especially is growing. But you're also starting.
This is not my fault, Karen.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
so sorry.
That's your fault.
We're gonna fucking.
I'm gonna drink the rest of it. There's like
a.
there's
So
like
swallow it
a
and shut
docile.
the fuck up.
Go, Nick. I'm sorry.
Do it.
So your business is growing. You're expanding a little bit here and there, but you're also getting into more on-camera stuff. You're doing your own podcast.
Yes, I'm trying.
which will be launching soon. People can follow you at Midlife Ballers.
Because we're neither ballers or midlife. No,
You
we're
are midlife,
we're
motherfucker.
mid fucking life as
You're
it gets,
midlife.
and we ball sometimes. I
We
make a little
were
bit of
talking
money.
about his name for this, and he was like, "So what should it be?" I was like, "Well, it
Dude.
should probably deal with something with midlife, because
I'm
And he's
fucking
like,
old.
"I am not midlife," and I'm like, "You are 40. Multiply that by 2, and do you really see either of us
I'm
living
not
to
gonna
80?
live past 55.
You see either of us
still.
living to 80?" He's like, "Shit, you're right. We are midlife."
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
say
what was the
something,
other- what was the other
something
time?
right here that might need to be cut off on Kevin. So
Okay.
Kevin, take note. Do you have all the sites for that already?
Yes,
You do.
yes.
You got
Okay. We're gonna have to talk after the show to make sure that you do.
Because if you don't, someone will steal it.
Someone will take it. You can't say a name of something if you don't own all the URLs.
Yeah, I bought the URL,
right,
Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, regular mail, and I can't do the YouTube yet because I don't have 500 subscribers.
Okay, cool. We'll get there. We'll figure it out.
No, you understand. And again, I love you for it. We went back and forth and on the phone with Nick because he also came up with what was the other title?
I wanted to call it A Life Half Over. And
That's good.
his partner didn't like that, but I
My
was like,
partner
"Come
was
on,
like,
dude."
"That's a little dark, man." And I was like, "Okay, how about midlife ballers?" And what we'll do is we'll scour LA for like people like us that are trying desperately to continue. It's time to drink and do herbal substance goodness, and then we fall asleep at 9:30. It's like, oh, that's not really exciting. Like. So there's a subculture out there of people like,
it's there.
I pay my fucking taxes. I have my kid. I see her on the weekends. Like it's crazy. That's not me. I don't have any children that I know.
But
of,
if you
I mean,
did, you'd imagine you'd see her on the weekends.
no, but I mean, like I'm on my friend, but my buddy has not been remarried. But I did. So I am on wife quote number 2, and she's on husband number 2, and we've been together 8 years. So that's the thing, though. It's like because you are. And your girlfriend is totally adorable, and I hope to God you're still
I
with
love
her.
her.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
She was on stage last year.
Yeah.
Super adorable. You need to like grab her.
No, she's
and
good.
Don't do the stuff that Kevin does to his girlfriend.
I don't.
So, but what I'm saying is like you will
Do some of
learn.
the stuff that Kevin does.
Here's the thing that this idea that I brought up like 5 years. My wife and I have gone through an arc of where we are now. We are leaving our house. We're moving from a place we had to move for her job to go back to where we were most comfortable with family so that we can be like together and like, more as one unit. And then she can go to work and I can go to work and we can come back together. But sometimes in relationships, your relationship partner dictates what you do without even knowing that they're dictating it. You know what I mean? So you have to be really careful. And so we finally got to the place where I said, I love you. I want to be with you, but I can't see you every day, like all the time. And you have to go see other people too. Like you have to go hang out with your friends. Our relationship cannot be the thing we do when we're not working there. And it can't just be a bridge between work and home is the drive home on the freeway. Like that can't be the thing. So then I was like, I'm going to put my foot down. It's going to be suck. I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss my life. I'm going to miss my dogs, but I got to go hang out with my boys. And I think sometimes you get taxes, work, wife, fuck. It's 11 o'clock at night. What am I going to do now?
No, I
don't
thought it
have
was fuck.
No,
No,
sweetheart.
when you're married.
No, but that's the thing
You don't
too
need
is
that
that
anymore.
can also change if the other energy changes too. You can be more physical because I gained a ton of weight and I was not happy and but I'm coming out of that. And so, yes, I would like the podcast series. Yes, I would like to produce. Yes, I would like to grow my other companies like super big and just enough to where, I don't need to be rich, but if you like what you do, you're gonna make money. Like I love working for all these other companies as a set designer. Is it on camera stuff? No, but I still love doing that. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do some podcasts, and I'm gonna do like we're gonna throw parties in LA, and we're gonna have like people come. I could see fusions between all the podcasts. Well, not all of my podcast series, but some of them, because some of them would be weird to commingle all of them. But but for the most part, and then grow kind of funny. And I could see working for you guys, working for other people, or just we all hang out in a big fucking building and do whatever the hell we want to do. And so, yeah, I see that moving forward. I don't know if I would be like, oh, now I'm going to do, the Remnant. What is it? Remnant? What is Revenant?
The Revenant?
I'll do Revenant 2 with Leo. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be I'm not going into
That would
acting
be
like that.
fucking amazing if somehow you scored the sequel to the Revenant.
Right. Like he's
Not
still
Scarpino.
like he's still crawling through the snow, and I'm like, I don't know what you need. I don't know what you need, boy. I'll do my best. I'm gonna do my best.
He was dead. He was dead when I
You're
left.
gonna cut my hand off right now, Leo, or are you gonna fight for the gas leak in Porter Ranch? Because anyways. I doubt he listens to the show, but if he does,
Leo's a big fan.
Thank
Leo
you,
and
Leo.
Tom Hardy actually just started subscribing.
Thank you,
Crazy.
Leo, for fighting the good fight in Porter Ranch's gas leak. There's a huge gas leak.
I want to
out
give
there.
a shout out to your black V-neck right now.
Oh, that's all I do.
Oh,
and
it's
the button ups.
Good.
And I have a bunch of other shirts, but I chose this one.
Good. No, I like it.
Yeah.
The black V is the tradition.
Well, I mean, see, that's the thing is like when you're designing all day, I have jeans, I have black shirts, I have gray shirts. That's it. I don't really explore color. Plus, when you put white on this, woo! Not until I start the cocaine diet with Nick that I can actually drop those LBs.
So, yeah, I mean, I
God,
think
it's so weird being in a fucking room talking to you guys because like I hear things and I'm like, wait, did it come from Nick or did it come from Matt?
I make jokes about it, but like my good buddy who's on my new podcast says, you make abs in the kitchen. So
abs are made in the kitchen.
I gotta stop eating.
It's very true.
Okay, go for
Greg,
it.
I
Greg.
love you, man.
But I just love it
Thanks,
because
man.
so many things that you say, I'm like, oh my God. Like I just keep looking at the camera and looking at Nick and being like, whoa, this is weird.
Well, we
like
get-
earlier, I know it's just like a weird, you guys know each other.
Well, we
You
talk a
are
lot, too, so,
exactly. But like earlier, you didn't notice this, but he said two things. Blah, blah, blah.
I got
blah,
the two
blah,
things
blah.
from him.
And I'm like, oh my God. That is the most,
Greg, you can shut the door. We don't need to listen to you pee.
I mean, it's like backdraft in there right now. He's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
it's like the scene where Kurt Russell turns on the fire hose.
if you go right now to youtube.com/Tim
Greg
Gettys.
Yeah, Tim Gettys.
I think that's what it is. /Tim Gettys. There's old videos I did before, kind of funny, and one of them is the video that me and Alfredo made for your bachelor party.
That's awesome.
And like it's us, me and Alfredo dressed as Nick, how Nick used to dress and act like Nick used to act, which is similar to how you are now.
Still the same thing. I still have that shirt. I bought it again.
Good. But it was awesome because Nick's quote used to be, Nick has two lines. He has a scotch, a scotch. There's a scotch to the left, or two things.
Yeah.
And whenever Nick talks to you, and I'm sure you guys all understand this because you watch the podcast, but Nick will go two things without having either of those things in his mind.
Yeah.
So he'll say it before he even knows what those two
Yeah.
things are,
Yeah.
and then he'll let you know. And you just did that.
generally-
Well, but I don't
thing
do
number-
that because I just started that though. I mean, there was a moment where I was thinking I
know that sound.
I would be working, and I taught for 5 years. That's why I can do podcasting now because I'm not in an educational facility anymore. But I taught at a couple of junior colleges, so you kind of to lecture for 2 hours on set design and make it good and fun and interesting. I kind of do like this, like podcasting is kind of like that. So I would have those things, but he doesn't.
Here we go.
It's Greg.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. What's going on, brother? I'm so sad. Nick told me last night that you were not going to be here, and I was like, it better be a smoking hot chick, and he's like, oh, it is, and I'm like, okay, I'll shut up then. But I brought you, I brought you whiskey, and we drank it all. I'm sorry, I'll buy more.
Show him it.
We can't hear him on the
Oh yeah, you can't hear him.
How can you not hear him?
because there's a gate and it's not passing that.
Oh well, I love him. It doesn't matter. Here, you know, I put him over there so I can just look at him. This is Colin, everybody. He knows politics and history. He's really smart. Can you see him? Dude, you look so good right now in that jacket.
Thank you.
Oh my God, when do you get back?
Sunday.
Okay, are you stretching and drinking water?
Yeah, I got my water.
And you're stretching?
Stretching.
Good.
It's fine.
Every day. Eat a lot of fruit in between sessions. Yeah.
Vitamins.
A lot of vitamins. You can get one of those oxygen masks.
We're getting into. You're gonna have to cut this territory.
Yeah, does he know he's on?
It's fine.
Does he know he's on
Does
camera?
Colin, who's seeing it through FaceTime with all the microphones and the camera, know he's on?
I'm an
Go-
asshole then.
Hey, guess what, Colin? Good news. Kevin's still an idiot.
No. I believe it.
All right, we'll see you later. Love you.
Was it because the mic was
Thanks,
muted?
brother.
Yep.
So, just FYI, Your mic was muted the entire time. That's why we couldn't hear Colin.
So
You're gonna cut it out, I know.
I'm gonna cut him out because I'm Kevin.
So anyway, we're
Wait,
gonna,
is
we're
his
gonna be
mic-
in a good place.
Is his mic or muted now?
Is it unmuted now? Ladies
To
and
be
gentlemen,
fair, that was it. All right.
this topic was brought to you by Squarespace. Yes. Squarespace. We used it. Nick, when we started and we knew nothing, we had no time. We used Squarespace, didn't we?
You did. It saved our lives.
Building a website can be tough. And even if you do know your way around coding, creating something that looks good and works well is a time-consuming affair. Whether it's for a business site, a portfolio, a restaurant, or whatever else, in this day and age, you probably need one anyway. Sites look professionally designed regardless of skill level, no coding required. The tools are intuitive and easy to use, and you get a free domain if you sign up for a year. You like this one so far? You like this?
Yeah.
I'm counting down.
use Squarespace.
We're talking to your microphone now. He's got a legit point.
Is it muted? Can you check?
Now it's muted. Now it's muted.
I believe in Squarespace.
Well, lucky for us, Squarespace makes it easy to build a beautiful website without breaking a sweat. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com. When you decide to sign up for Squarespace, make sure you use the offer code KINDAFUNNY to get 10% off your first purchase. Squarespace, you should. That's their new tagline.
Build it beautiful.
Oh,
No,
it's not-
don't
That was
say
the
the old
one. That was the old
tagline.
one. That was the old one.
They have a new one. Squarespace, you should. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the GameOverGreggy. We drank an entire bottle of
We
whiskey.
did. That's impressive.
This has been the GameOverGreggy show. Thank you for joining us. Matt, thank you for joining us. Everybody follow him.
Guys, super excited. Thank you so much.
We can't wait for your podcast. We love you on Twitter.
I will tweet some goodness. And
Will you
I
tweet
let-
more? Because you don't tweet enough.
Yeah.
You know what it
At
is? I will.
Scarpino Man.
I will
At
now.
Scarpino
I will
Man, so you
now,
follow him.
and I promise I will get out there into the world.
Thank you. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode early, along with exclusive episodes like the one they may or may not record right now.
Probably not going to regret that.
Not going to do that, apparently, because everything sucks now.
We'll figure it out.
We will, but I was excited for that episode. But this episode kind of was that
It
episode.
was that episode.
No, but
yeah.
it's good. No. That episode will happen.
Because
It might
he's
be
not
right
going
now.
anywhere. He's still around forever.
I'm
Yeah,
here
we've
for
already
10
told
days.
people it's going to happen. It has to
Yeah.
Too
happen.
late. You're locked
We're
into it
good.
now.
Oh, we can figure it out. I'm just saying probably not happen today, but
Oh,
we can
fine. I don't
maybe
care as
do
long
it
as it gets
tomorrow or Sunday
done.
or whatever.
No, sure. Okay. Don't worry about it then. If you have no bucks to toss us to get exclusive stuff, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny where we put up every episode day by day, topic by topic, until we post the entire thing for free as an MP3 and video on Friday. Until next time, this has been a pleasure. You are a gem. Come back more.
I'm a diamond in the rough. I will. No, I will, because I have other jobs coming down the pipeline.
Oh, good.
so-
Well, I forgot you're so successful. You're here all the time.
It's not that good, but I'm excited about some of them. So
Okay.
I'll come back.
Thank
I
you.
love this place.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. We'll split over
Actually,
here.
I have a hoodie that I took those little drawstrings out
just
of.
a heads
Yeah.
up, we are rolling
Exactly.
right now.
Have you ever actually picked up poop by accident with your hand, like
No.
the bag?
God, no.
You
Oh, the
got it
bag
in
like
your
broke or
nails?
whatever? No.
Yeah, I did that once.
No,
I've wiped my ass and had the toilet paper
I had to
break, and
actually,
you touch
like-
your butthole and you get...
I had to like grass it, like put it in the dirt, and then remember on the way back that
What have you done have you ever run out of bags when you're trying to pick up
I walk away.
Really?
I'm that asshole.
It's happened to me once, and I'm such a fucking good Samaritan. I took out a $1
you-
bill, picked it up, and threw it away. I was like, I cannot. You know how bad it is in San Francisco, all the shit, especially in my
No,
neighborhood.
yeah,
all
yeah,
the poop
yeah,
on the street. I couldn't be that
True.
guy. I couldn't be that
So
guy.
you used a
Good
dollar.
of you.
Yeah.
My God, that one was worth $1.
No, I didn't. Which I usually do. That's what I wiped my own butt with at one time when I pooped outside of Mark Ryan's house.
receipt,
Yeah. It did not have any
I
like
love that
traction.
story every time you tell it.
Yeah.
Every time you tell it, don't.
Well, it's not the real show yet, Kevin.
I know, but I'm trying to get
You're getting him in the habit. All right.
Also, I'm going to use this as a blooper.
I figured as much. Yes, I know how you do it.
Can you hear me?
Kevin, can you hear me?
Very clearly.
Can you?
Yes. That was good. I like
Thank
that
you,
one.
boy. I love his laugh. It's so cute. Just want to squeeze him.
I know, just squeeze him until all the life's gone.
Okay, let me get this ready. I'm ready.